Hello everyone and welcome to the Summoners War European League. It is of course myself, Sam, joined by Mr. Seishizu. How are you doing right now?
Doing very well, very much looking forward to these matches that we have today. And there's only 2 weeks left before the playoffs. So this is the moment that if you're just outside of that top 8, you gotta get up all of those wins or extend your lead while you're at it.
Exactly, it's getting to the crucial time right here in the Summoners War European League. Like Say mentioned there, we've only got 2 more weeks remaining. That's including this week as well. So we're going all the way up to game week number 6 next week. They'll be there again Wednesday at 8 o'clock. But before we even get there, we've got 11 more matches yet to play today. Like you said, that leaderboard, it's very stretched right now. At the end of last week, we kind of had a few people starting to form a little bit of a gap at the top of the leaderboard, and it's definitely getting into a clutch moment down at the bottom if you can get into that top 8 to make it all the way to our playoffs being on the 4th of April on a Saturday on that one, so make sure you've got your calendars set for it as well. And why we're here, you should know it by now. If you don't, you've probably just skipped me and Say speaking about this at the start of every single stream that we've possibly done for the Summoners War European League. But we're here every Wednesday, and it's best of 2s. Not best of 2s in the way that you might think. However, you get a point from every single set win that you manage to take against your opponent. All those set wins get added onto the leaderboard, and that will give you your final number and placing, or seeding as we like to call it. The prize pool, obviously they're playing for some money as well right here. First place taking home €5,000 and then it getting divvied out a little bit less as you come lower on that ranking. But it's all taking place over these past weeks and it's all been here in front of us to see this. This is where we're ending up right now, Say. How crazy to see some of these points leading.
Yeah, we can definitely see Obabo and Perfects taking the lead, also being 2 points ahead for Obabo, even 3 points ahead of the competition. But this is also where you can see that you have that best of 2 format where you see some players, for example, Guts, he has 5 draws, only 2 victories, but he never lost a full round. So therefore, is still in that 4th position, and that is what you're looking out for. So let's see if also people just outside of the top 8 can still make it in there. But in the end, there's going to be 4 players that are not participating in the playoffs.
Yeah, we are going to be saying goodbye to those people, but not until the end of next week, so they're still sticking around at least until then. But like you said, Say, crucial to get into that top 8 as well. And as we've seen, the points there, probably around 5 or 6 points currently, sits you into those top 8 at the moment, and there's still plenty of points up for grabs as well. I think 8 realistically in total if everyone's got around 4 matches yet to play as well, and that's going to be a big swing, big turn to see who can rise to the top of that leaderboard. Our very first match of today, though, is going to be Raxxaz versus Ismo, Say, as well. Interesting to see what that match is going to bring us. 2 players that we know a lot about as well, but look at those other matches as well for today. People should stick around, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of fun matches. Also, the Scribble Ismo match is a repeat of the match that actually made Ismo bald at that time because he lost 3-0 to Scribble at that moment. We also got Tito, Gufflet, Guts, which are 2 people that talk a lot, hang around a lot, and actually share a lot of ideas. So let's see how that works out for those matchups. And of course, people love to see Obabo play. And we got rank 1 against rank 2 with Obabo and Perfects coming near the end.
Exactly. Crucial point. Maybe it might even be what could be in our playoffs as one of those matches as well right there. I mean, now you're starting to figure out who you might be coming up against later on in this tournament. But before we get there, we've obviously still got our League Day competitions. 11 matches for everybody right there. Let us know in chat who you're supporting. I gather it's the usual suspects as well, probably around in there as well. But make sure you let us know how they're doing, if they could do better, like everyone can, all the way through there. I mentioned it just a bit earlier, Say, Raxxaz versus Ismo is going to be that very first match. Ismo, usually the first match of the day in some sort of capacity. It's been over this Summoners War European League, but 2 players we know a lot about. How are they doing right now? I think they're also pretty close on the leaderboard, right?
Yeah, I think they're ranked around 10, both of them. I think just below 10 or just above 10 for both of the 2 players. So actually, I checked earlier, the whole top 8 of Europe currently is top 19 of the world. That just shows how stacked Europe is at the moment for the qualifying season of SWC. But we're not there just yet. We're here for swell. And these guys are currently top 10 of the world, both of them, or at least pretty close to.
Damn, look at this. We're bringing you all the action, the best of the best, it sounds like as well. Say, prediction time. Who do you have for this one? It's a close one, eh?
Oh, that's a really tough one. It kind of comes down to who can play the best without Irration, because I think both of the 2 players will give each other not the Irration. They're going to pre-ban it if they don't have first pick. But who's going to win? I can see one apiece on that one for this one.
Nice, sitting on the fence. Raxxaz wants a friend. Ismo wants a win. One of those is happening tonight, and the bull doesn't do cuddles. Let's find out in this one. We are going to get an Intermission pre-ban there from Raxxaz, and the Berghild coming out as well on the side of Ismo.
Yeah, both bans make a lot of sense. One is the pre-ban on the LD that the enemy uses most comfortably, and then you also have the aggression pre-ban because your enemy does have first pick. And I think we're going to see that both ways. Megumi on the first pick. Interesting first pick right there. Does open up already right away for a Josephine and a Gandalf combination, but I do know Ismo kind of likes to play into that with his Fire Legolas. So let's see if that kind of plays out, or is Rexaz right away going to change from the draft? Because this is slightly different than you see on leaderboards, because then it's just aggression first pick, and then we'll just see what comes after. But right now, if Intermission is pre-ban, it does kind of shake things up a little bit.
Yeah, he's trying to go for the little bait and switch there. Ismo bringing out that Fire Megumi. Answering by Raxxaz, though, bringing in the Shiho, getting a speed contest in there, and that Hwarang, at the moment he starts taking turns, he's going to pick up pace right there. So maybe a little bit of both, right? Turn 1 and turn 2.
Yeah, definitely a bit of turn 1 and turn 2 in that position. Hwarang is still super strong unit. I'm personally surprised that he doesn't get picked up more, because it's just so strong with those great artifacts, and I do know Rexaz has really great artifacts. So we do see a Josephine on the field and a Gianna, so kind of countering the Gianna itself by, or at least taking the unit away that could potentially counter the Gianna at a later moment. So let's see if Rexaz does go towards a Hey Gang right now, or is he feeling too less of sustain if he does so?
Yeah, let's find out. This is where he needs to kind of pivot into that turn 1 or turn 2, I would say. He hasn't got a speed lead on his side yet at the moment either. That's the signal for me. You're going for a bit of turn 2, the Gandalf and the Jaeger.
Yeah, that's where you have the Jaeger. Curious to see if Ismo's gonna go for the Fire Legolas. That's mostly what he pairs into a Gandalf. Is gonna bring it up in here. But how is he gonna finish off this draft? You could see if you have a very strong Sonya, it could maybe potentially take something out, or at least lower the HP by a lot. But it's one of those dangerous things in current meta. Is a Sonya strong enough against all of those heavy bruiser units where he can actually perform a snipe? And we're gonna go for an Anaval, providing a bit of slows.
Yeah, slows, getting those defense breaks out on the other side as well, trying to take down a unit. Like we saw, Raxxaz has pivoted into that kind of more turn 2 star right here. Maybe some more kind of sustain coming out from his side?
Yeah, adding a sustain would make a lot of sense, but going for an Angela or something probably doesn't really fit too well in the things that you're playing against. So could see him still go for like an Angela or Rakuni, but also Sonya on this side, if you're planning to ban the Megumi, is an option. Do go for a Chow.
Damn, bringing in the double Dragon Knight action, then coming in from Raxxaz. We've seen Pafix use it quite a lot in the Summoners War European League. Less so from Raxxaz right here. Bans to come through though, say?
I think if you go for the Chow, you probably remove the NFL, because then you're removing the only sustain on your enemy's side. From Ismo towards Rexaz, it's kind of hard to say. I would say almost all 5 units are potentially for the ban, because it's just a so well-rounded draft.
There you go. These guys know what they're doing. They've been around these SWCs before. We're going to get a Water Gandalf ban as well as the Anavel there as well. So it's an attack lead versus a speed lead going into our very first match of the day in the Summoners War European League. Raxxaz ranked 5th versus Ismo ranked 6th.
Let's see what we can do on this Shiho right now. We're gonna go for the alter ego. Do we stun? We stun on the very first hit right away, but that does give a turn to this Josephine.
Yeah, Josephine's going to be able to cut in right there. She's got that skill too if she wants to try and get some provokes, get a strip going through there as well. Who do you go for? Getting that monkey as well. Oh, a nice additional turn as well.
Nice additional turn that will give the passive back up the moment the monkey provides another stun. The other units cannot go for stuns. But it's also the Megumi is a little bit in an awkward position. Sure, you would like to get a defense break in at some point, but even landing this on the Hwarang right now, we do get a crit animation. Do we fully connect it? We do actually fully connect it on that Hwarang.
We do right here. Now Legolas is going to start lighting up a little bit. Going to use into that skill 2, into the skill 1s, get some more speed going through there, say. I mean, oh, or just stealing.
Oh, it's actually want to keep the immunity up. Is an interesting choice. I'm not sure if that is the right choice for getting the immunity up there. I don't think you really needed it against those units, but still cycling fast enough to get this skill back up.
Yeah, getting it back through right now. Can start putting a little bit of damage. You've obviously got that threat state as well on the Megumi from Ismo's side as well, so big justices are not going to land as well.
Yeah, maybe his idea was to try to get that threat state on his unit so that Gianna's protected for just a little bit longer. We can send out the bomb for now. You could get counted on the bomb, but you have to land it on the Hwarang. If you go for the skill 3, you could get counted, but I think it is still worth it to try to get the Shiho stunned.
Didn't go for it there, so she survives a little bit, but right now, obviously that threat state is coming in clutch, so he can't direct that damage towards the Gianna right there, and there's no additional turn to help either.
Ooh, we have to stun an off element right now. You have to land it on the shield because shield does have the S2 available. But are you gonna send it though? Does go for it, does get a glancing hit.
Yeah, glancing coming through right there. And you've slowly got Raxxaz's kind of units coming into effect now. They're going to be taking turns slowly. You've got that Chow coming, like you said as well. I mean, he's trying Legolas.
Yeah, Legolas is definitely trying. It's also kind of on the question, like, how much damage does your bomb do? Is this enough for the bomb to take it out? I don't think just yet. But you kind of already want to start sending some hits somewhere else. Nope, just a double hit right there. And that's the thing about the Legolas. Could go for a 5-hit, could only be a 2-hit.
Yeah, that's the risk that you're playing with him right there. Monkey does have these skills. Josephine does have that passive still, so she can look to provide some sort of shields there. Maybe start controlling.
Yeah, controlling with a provoke definitely does work wonders right there. However, ooh, the Hwoarang, very low HP, but will be taken out by this Megumi.
Yeah, taking it out, confirming nice little additional turn as well. Can you look to try and get an off-element pushback?
Yeah, you have to go for the stun right now. The stun can only provide, or the pushback can only be provided at the moment there's already debuff. Does get the off element this time. We also say goodbye to the Gian, so it's 3 against 3. But I think that Ismo's looking a little bit better in this matchup thus far because of this Legolas.
Yeah, he is looking healthy right here. But those Dragon Knights, if they can get some of those skill 2s later on, Raxxaz could be looking good. But right now, it's a Legolas show.
It's definitely a Legolas show, and especially if it has like 4 or 5 hits, that just does so much work. You are gonna get another hit in on this Legolas. It's so fast based on that speed buff. We're gonna get a 5-shot once again. At least I think it is 5. It's kind of hard to see, even with the change on the animation. Chow can still do some miracle things. If Chow starts proccing, it could still be very fast over.
Yeah, Chow's time to shine here for Raxxaz if he can get him going. Obviously, those other units are taking turns a little bit quicker than him right now, and he needs to start cycling through. Oh, that's not going to help.
Oh, that's definitely not helping, but at this moment, Rexaz is definitely sitting at the 27%, and that shows justice takes it out.
You can never back out from these Dragon Knights. That skill 2 is deadly for these kind of players.
Yep, and we cannot take it out. We have another Justice available. I think both Dragon Knights are going to do it. No, actually a lot of damage reduction over there. Or the Chow just simply not on that much damage. But 22% doesn't seem to be the number with the additional turns we're taking over here. Landing that defense break off element. But I think Chow would... okay, Chow goodbye. But Jaeger, one more Justice. This is over.
Casual little 33k hit right there on the Josephine say. I mean, Raxxaz, it never looked like he was in control, but just those Dragon Knights being on the field, knowing the damage that he could provide with those skill 2s as well, it kind of just played out for him.
Yeah, and that's the thing with the Jaeger out there. And normally Rexaz always had like the kind of underwhelming LDs, did not really work out that well. But in this heavy stun meta, Jaeger is really good. Burkelt is really working to his effect. And suddenly it works out super well that he's sitting at a top 10 position. And every time that you leave that unit in, it's just super dangerous. And now you have the reverse where Intermission is banned from Ismo towards Rexaz because Rexaz has that first pick.
Yep, taking it out, and Raxxaz looking to get rid of that Water Gandalf as an option for Ismo on his side right there. First pick again. We're trading a Fire Megumi first pick then.
Fire Megumi, interesting. Did not work out for Ismo in that last rotation, but let's see if it works better for Rexaz, because Rexaz can pair that up with a Jaeger. So defense break into a Jaeger is super strong. On the side of Ismo, that double-edged sword right there, which is Viva Gel plus a Xingzi.
Yeah, we've seen sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe bad for that Viva Chell as well, if she gets that cycle through in the perfect moment right there. Raxxaz with the second and third pick as well right now, also going for a bit of monkey business, bringing in a lot of speed right there.
Interesting to bring a Shiho into a Viva Gel. That's right playing into the cards of a Viva Gel, because Shiho moves in front, but also the invisibility of the Shiho is not cared about when switching the HP and the attack bar. So Viva Gel is always very likely to play into a Shiho, but happening it the other way around, you don't see too much. But then to counter all of these stuns, Josephine is a great unit, once again pairing it up with an Annabelle.
Yeah, bringing out those slows, the defense breaks on the side of Annabelle. Very useful kit, well-rounded monster right there. Fourth and fifth pick right now for Raxxaz though. How's he going to be able to deal with those options?
There's a few things that you could go for. Interestingly enough, this is kind of a value where you would say Diana maybe has some great strengths in there, but you kind of have to work towards supports as well, because on the other side you have one shield provider, 2 healers already. If you go fully without, ooh, we're gonna go fully without on the side of Rexaz, adding in a Nobara and a Layla.
Nabara coming out then, going to be eating up any debuffs that come out on the side right there. Maybe signaling you're leaving at least an Annabelle coming through there, and the Layla as well to try and get those anti-cleanses coming through. How does Ismo look to respond in this 5th pick right now?
I think Ismo can double down it with another support unit, because in the end, Raxxaz doesn't have any form of healing, and support/sustain unit, the Mayo Wing still has some self-sustain, so I think it is a great pick right there.
Yeah, a lot of monkey business coming out into this one right here. So do you have to respect that Meihu Wang bringing 2 wind units as your last 2 picks?
I think you have to respect, especially if you're expecting your Nobara to do anything. But then again, it could be a Layla ban, it could be a Nobara ban. I think the Nobara is kind of dealt with because you have enough healers, you have enough shields. So I'm expecting a Layla ban right there. No, we're actually going to go for a Berkill ban.
Berkill and Annabelle being taken out in the drafting phase right here. Speed lead 28 versus a 24. Raxxaz and Ismo. It's our first match of the day, still set number 2. Raxxaz 1 up against Ismo right now.
Once again, Shio taking that first turn. Can we connect the stun? That is most likely a 100 res unit, and it does connect the stun over there, so no switch of destiny on that monkey itself.
Yeah, managing to survive through and getting that stun early right now. Now he can look to try and get some control coming through right there. But I mean, wow, this Fire Megumi is starting off strong.
Fire Megumi is starting super strong. Now also the big question, do you send it on the 50-50 check on this Wind Monkey right now? Is going to go for it. No 50-50 right there.
No, but you've got Layla coming through now with that skill 2, getting some more debuffs around there. But I mean, it's slowly monkey time is going to start.
Yep, it's going to be monkey time. Resistant on the Layla. That is quite unfortunate because that's where the main damage is going to come from. Also, the Shinxa didn't move yet, so you cannot provoke it just yet. 2 hits going into the Shinxa. Both of them didn't do anything because of the immunity.
Yeah, the randomness right there coming through. Monkey slowly getting online as well. But I mean, you need to start getting some sort of debuffs on you or just some more damage coming out from the side of Rexaz.
It might be that this Layla is actually on a 100 resistance. You don't see it super commonly, but it can happen. And that also is showing really good effect. I'm pretty sure it's 100 resistance because these monkeys are not super high on accuracy. And it does show on this Layla standing on the field, taking so many stunts. But this one finally connects.
Yeah, finally getting a stun on herself right there going through. You've got Megumi coming around again, managing to provide more stuns as well right now. Monkey will be able to follow up soon as well, but Josephine's starting.
Yeah, Josephine is starting over there. Do we get a sleep? We do get a sleep. This is one of those sleeps you can remove yourself. You could trade it for stun, would not be ideal, but at least you can remove this debuff on your accord. So let's see if Ismo is also going to go for that.
Yeah, right now, look, maybe he's going to try and kill off this Layla right now to kind of deal with it, or is he going to cleanse it?
Nope, we're going to take it out, or we're doing both. It's also a very good choice. Issue is you could potentially stun it. Does actually stun it in this case.
Does stun it, 25% HP going down right there, but it's still looking good on the side of Ismo. He's not quite close enough to being taken out easily.
Not there just yet, but how about resistance over there? But we have another alter ego coming in, so I think we're looking at a dead Josephine right here. But you still have to keep in mind, taking out this Mayo Wang will be very difficult.
Definitely will right there, because he will have that self-sustain coming through as well. You probably need to get rid of that Viva Shell off the field quickly so she can't do any sustain as well.
Ooh, not connecting anything over there, but the additional damage artifact on the Nobara, especially with a multi-hit on the S2. If we connect multiple hits on it, we do connect multiple hits on. Was not enough though, but we actually provoked wrong element.
We did manage to get it right there, but I mean, again, it's looking like it's coming down to so much monkey business right here. 2 versus 1. Well, who's looking stronger?
Yeah, it's really hard to say because we're trading blows back and forth. We're gonna say goodbye to this Viva Shell right now. Also, this monkey's too consistent on the stunts on that Nobara, and that's taking a lot of life from him. Plus the fact that he's gonna eat an alter ego. If he takes 1 alter ego, I think match is over. So how much can you do on this monkey? It is full stacked right now, but this healing is probably not gonna be enough.
No, you even tried to go in for the stun right there then as well, Sam. I mean, like you said, skill 3 from Shiho is going to come in and be able to take this out easily now.
Yeah, defense breaks 4k per hit, simply taking out Nobara, also doing too much work. And therefore we have 2 points go to the side of Raxxaz.
Wow, Raxxaz starting the day off strong then against Ismo, a fearsome competitor right there. 2-0 in the end, Sam. I mean, it came down to both times, like one time with the Monkey King, the others with those Dragon Knights as well. Super deadly and dangerous when he could kind of really get those hits off. And I think, like you were mentioning as well, just the artifact strength is something that you have to really be mindful of when you are playing against somebody like Raxxaz. Probably jumped him up a little bit higher in our leaderboard as well right there, but close one. Predictions, currently not 100% though, say.
Not 100% it is, but definitely well played by both gentlemen over there. And it definitely came down to a very heavy on the bruiser fight. And that's what you commonly see, even without the original on the field, even without a Gandalf on the field. It's still a lot of bruisering back and forth. You don't see too many snipes these days, but there are a few players that can still do it. But what you see at the top of the leaderboards, it is very commonly to just bruiser it out.
Bruisering it out. Will we see some more turn 2 action then going into the rest of today? We've still got 10 more matches left to be played today as well. We'll be seeing both of those guys later on, I believe, as well, as we're going to have a quick look back at the fixtures and the matches that are coming up for the rest of today. All those players still waiting in the wings, ready to see. They've seen all the action already, but confirmation, a 2-0 win for Raxxaz against Ismo right there to kick things off on our day number 5. Next match, say, two very tall guys, Pafix and Scribble. What about these guys?
Yeah, Pafix and Scribble. Scribble actually has been struggling a bit towards like midway of the season, but kind of found his jam, what's working for him right now. He's also played a lot more Mortera, where it was like 15% win rate when we were talking about it last week. It is sitting at like a 50 or even more win rate right now, which is a big climb from that 15 earlier on. So he's kind of getting his jam where it starts working. So Pafix has to keep that unit in mind. But on the other hand, both of them definitely Erestrian abusers, I would almost say. So let's see if that one is also going to be banned out by both players.
Nice, throwing out that word straight away. Let's see who's got their mojo about them then, right? Pafix and Scribble. Predictions say you need to get to 50-50.
I will give this slight upper hand to Pafix, because I think Scribble can only work right now with the Erestrian, but maybe not without.
Let's find out. Pafix brought the gun show. Scribble brought sticks. One of these feels under-equipped. Let's find out. Pafix versus Scribble Bibble in our match number 2 of the Summoners War European League right here. 2nd place versus 8th. Being in that 8th position means you really need to tally up some points as well. You don't want to be on that cut zone when we're getting through to our playoffs at the end of next week as well, right there. Scribble does have that first pick as well, say, so are you expecting maybe that Erestrian ban, maybe even a Water Gandalf on the side? What are we seeing? Oh, nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it on the head. Also, against Pafix, you could go for one of his LDs, but he's also, since he also mentioned it on the podcast, he just loves the Gandalf too much. He would just lock it in his first unit. It's like, might as well not give that one to the enemy. And then we start off with a good old Oliver.
Yeah, Oliver coming back in. He's been around the block a few times. 33% speed lead on the side of Scribble. Pafix looking to respond then with a monkey and a deadly knight.
Yep, that's where we have the Jaeger coming in, which is also a steal because Scribble does have a Jaeger himself as well. So let's see what he likes to pair with this. Going for an Elena, pretty uncommon unit, but we have seen some players. Glorious is using that a lot. Scribble is using it. Pinkroyd we have seen using it. And all three of them actually make very good use of it because it's one of the very few strippers that doesn't touch the enemy. However, there are some heavy speed contesting units on the side of Pafix, but takes them away just now.
Yeah, taking them away, kind of play maybe even some little mind games right here in this match. Okay, just flexing a little bit, Pafix right there. We've got the Sekhmet coming out. I don't think we'll see the Legolas on a 38.
Yeah, Legolas on 38, that's definitely an interesting bet. If you pair that together with an Athna or other AoE critters, Legolas can actually be very strong, but it's probably not in usable position right now if it's level 38. We have a Nyx with that to deny some of the buffs, but there's no real sustain on the side of Pafix thus far. Let's see if Scribble can utilize that.
Yeah, is he going to play it into that aspect right here? 4th and 5th pick in a bit of a driving seat to be able to find out how he's going to deal with the side of Pafix. Back to his old trusty Okeanos, and we're seeing a Wedgeat come out.
I'm not too sure about the Okeanos and Wedgeat, because first of all, Okeanos cannot stunt the Jaeger, so that's not really helping you. And the Wedgeat is not, sure, it's kind of speed chasing and speed racing, but it's not really helping you. Plus there's a TL Lang on your enemy side, and we're actually gonna leave the TL Lang in.
That was an instant ban from both players right there. We've got a 24 versus a 33 speed lead. It's our match 2 of the Summoners War European League. Pafix 2nd versus Scribble. Sekhmet, are you gonna do it?
Yes, Sekhmet is that one of those things. We have the Charming Voice. Charming Voice does fully connect, so Okeanos is not looking at any skills anytime soon. So it's all for this putting. Putting is connecting most of the, or connecting all of the strips, not all of the slows, but working thus far.
Yeah, I'm pushing back right there. Obviously, Okeanos with that cool time inserted as well. Got options again to get it across the board. Huge.
Oh, I think that Pavix is sitting in a driving position from this early matchup because look at those cooldowns of the Oliver. Does take the additional turn, but had his very first hit on that skill 3 resisted. Also there after that cooltime increase. So Oliver cannot really do Oliver things. Plus Oliver things aren't working as well when there's a monkey on the field and a TLA.
Yeah, both of them just eating that up right here. Skill 2 going in as well, getting some damage. You've got another bit more into that Elena as well. She's not looking healthy.
Yeah, not looking healthy at all. Sure, she has a little bit of healing by herself, but a 3-turn defense break is super lengthy, and his Okeanos is not going to be doing any skills the rest of the match.
No, he definitely isn't right now. He can plow in again with that monkey to take out that Elena as well right there. Set up yourself with another defense break. Wow. Pavix is coming in strong.
Yeah, we got the additional turns going to the sides of Pavix. We have Scribble throwing back the defense break right there, but the Curse of the Beautiful is just bringing back a 3-turn defense break across the board, and Scribble knows he can't win in that one. So a little bit less of a bruiser fight, but a very fast one and very well played by Pavix.
Pavix taking that early lead then in this match number 2 of today. 1-0 versus Scribble Bibble right here. Set up with a really nice comp in the end, say I would say, in the drafting part right there. Scribble, how's he going to look to be able to respond with that?
Well, it's going to be a difficult one because I don't think that Scribble has that much experience playing without the Eretion at the moment, whereas I think Pavix has been a little bit more all-round throughout this season. And I think Scribble really likes to play AoE playstyle. He just, that's what we know from back in the day, Zipala, Robo, and all of that kind of things. But actually, is he going to give Eretion to Pavix right now? Because that is definitely an option that he could go for. We have TL Lang being banned and Mortera being banned.
Yeah, both of them coming out. Does leave it open for Pavix right there. Maybe wasn't expecting it straight at the start, but does have it ruined up and ready to go right there. Again, Scribble going back to that 33 Oliver.
Yep, pairing that up with a Shiho in this case. So does Pavix go all the way with a Asher kind of comp? Also maybe potentially stealing the Okeanos. Those are definitely options to go for. Gandalf is also available this time around, so there's a lot of options for Pavix to go for. However, going for a Gandalf this early against a Oliver might be not the right play. Nope, we're just going to go for a steal on that Jaeger and Segment, which actually has started to pick up a lot of play on ladder as well.
There we go, using it in the ladder, bringing it to the Summoners War European League right here, setting the meta over in this competition as well right now. 3rd and 4th pick coming in for Scribble Bibble right here. How is he going to look to pivot through this? He's already set up a little bit of a speed, but you're seeing a Sekhmet and that Ereshi on 33 on the other side as well.
Yeah, let's see if he wants to do a hard speed contest this, adding in a speed lead. No, we're going to go back to the Okeanos and a Gandalf itself. You have to keep in mind that Jaeger's skill 2 doesn't really care anything about shields. It's just go straight through. If there's a defense break, this Jaeger is as deadly as ever.
Definitely is, and if you've got Sekhmet out on the field, and you've even got an Ereshi coming through as well, you've got plenty around there as well right now. If Pavix is expecting maybe a ban on that Jaeger, bring his brother, eh?
Yeah, that's definitely a very strong combination. I could even see a potential Lucia or Gapso is also pretty common as a counter. Nope, we're going to go for the Josephine plus a Gapso in this case to counter, well, pretty much the main thing on all of the stunts that you see on the enemy team.
Yeah, trying to get rid of those stuns, maybe even stealing to prevent some sort of Josephine with that Gandalf, as well as a 5th pick coming in for Scribble right here. I mean, 5th pick, he really needs these points as well if he wants to be around in that 8th position right here.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what's going to be a great pick into this, because I feel like anything you would pick in the 5th will already be banned out by Pavix, unless it's worse than what you already seen. But I think that's just a very simple ban right there. But what to ban on the side of Pavix from Scribble? That is going to be very difficult. You could remove the sustain by the Gapso, but there's a lot of strong options with the Jaeger still.
Yeah, Jaeger feels super dangerous right now. We've seen a Pavix S2 come in from a Jaeger as well and just delete units on that side of the field. Is Scribble going to be able to play into that and trust the rest of his units on his side? No, he's getting rid of that Jaeger. We're getting rid of the speed lead on the side of Scribble as well. So we've got a 33 speed versus a HP 33 going into our match 2, set 2 between Pavix and Scribble. Can he get a point back on that leaderboard?
Once again, Sekhmet War looking at you. Can you connect it? Does once again connect on that Lamilia, and therefore will not have any skills available for quite a long time. But then again, we do have Okeanos on the skills available this time, but will most likely be provoked by this Josephine.
Yeah, let's see. Josephine, can you get that stripping? Get the provoke coming out right there. Deciding to go for that Gandalf instead then.
Ooh, going for the Gandalf is definitely an option. Still have the Josephine passive, but you can simply just send out on skill 2 rather than a skill 3, and that will also delay the skill 3 coming in from other units later.
Yeah, coming in later then, but I mean, right now, you're looking to get defense breaks. You only get one, but it's on that Okeanos.
It's on the Okeanos, and Okeanos also looking at the glancing. Also, the all or nothing connected. Absolutely nothing in this case.
Nothing right there. You've got skill 1 Gapsu coming in. He is going to survive it right now, but like you said, sending even a skill 3 with it. Ugh.
I think you would always have to start off with a skill 1, hope for an additional turn, throw off your glancing, and then throw the skill 3. Because right now, you're just looking at your Okeanos being nearly dead, and the shield is almost more HP than what you started off that turn with.
Exactly. You've got so much cool time as well on that Lamelia as well, Sage. I don't even know if she'll get a turn in time.
Yeah, I don't think so. This additional turn is definitely not helping neither. And anytime that this kind of is healing anything, Gapso will start taking more turn. 30% attack bar simply to this Gapso coming in over there. And we have the steals of this segment, which there's so many buffs in play in the current meta, which makes this segment almost have the skill 3 available every turn.
Yeah, she's going to be super strong. And look at there, partnering with Josephine, just waking up, and Scribble knows he probably can't get through her at the end of today. Pafix then coming out with a 2-0 win against Scribble Bibble in our Summoners War European League there. Say, you're back to 50-50 on those predictions, but I think it was very clean play from Pafix, right?
Yeah, very clean played. And also, I think that the trauma ban on the Tianling in round 2 was a little bit too much, whereas in round 2, none of these units really cared too much about the Tianling in the first place. Whereas in the first round, I thought they would have to ban it rather than banning out the Jaeger. And that kind of just shows giving one of those players Irration is pretty much giving them the free playstyle that they do on the leaderboards, and they're way too comfortable with it because they're winning with that playstyle.
Exactly. If you're using it all the time, it's just kind of second to none to know exactly what to do in those different situations. You can play it like the back of your hand, and you can see right there, Pafix taking a 2-0 victory against Scribble Bibble in our match number 2. Those guys we probably will see later on today as well with other matches, but it is getting a bit of a crucial time, I would say, for Scribble. If you're around the 8th or 9th position by the end of today, it's not going to be looking pretty. A lot of tension going into that very last week, but for Pafix on the other end of the spectrum, extending that lead with Obabo at the top of this leaderboard right here, maybe even pushing him up into first as we see right now. 2-0 for Raxxaz and a 2-0 for Pafix right there. Ignore what you see.
Yep, that's 2-2. That's very interesting on the best of 2 right there. We haven't seen that before, but we got 2-0s thus far on the left side. Does that mean that we're going to go for a pattern? Well, I think that everyone would like to see the pattern being broken in the match that comes after this one on the Smokes Obabo. But let's see what's going to happen first at the Tito Gufflet against GutsTheBerserk matchup.
Yeah, both these players we know have been around our SWCs, very good friends, talking to each other a lot during the game and when they're playing as well, say. But for these guys, I mean, would you have to give it the upper hand maybe to Guts just because he's been there and done it?
It's kind of hard to say on this matchup. On one side, we do have the Hwarang plus the Berkild plus Irration. And on the other side, Guts plays about everything. He's the only player on this whole league right here that still adds in a lot of Praha, for example. So I think Guts is a little bit one of those harder to predict what he's going to play. But then again, Guts is also a double-edged sword, for sometimes he cooks something really good and sometimes he cooks something absolutely not that great.
There we go. It takes real guts to face the Waffle Iron. Will he get flipped, or does the French Revolution start at breakfast? Let's find out. Guts versus Tito Gufflet. Pre-ban's already coming in, getting rid of that light Hwarang, as well as that Water Gandalf. We're leaving out Eretion here, then.
Yeah, Eretion is available. Guts does like to pick it up himself, and so he does. I think that's just the most common thing you see out there right now. If Eretion is available, first pick it. That unit is sitting at like a 54% win rate in G3. That thing is just absolutely super difficult to deal with. But let's see if Tito can do it.
He's bringing along Escher and Fire Megumi to try and deal with it right there. Instant response from GutsTheBerserk. If you want to get some stuns out, I've got a little woman in my back pocket who can help you out with that. Josephine right there, and the Shiho as well.
Ooh, going for a Misty the moment you don't have a Hwarang. It's definitely an option. It's kind of a backup version of it. However, you have to work into the shields and also the immunity and invisibility of that Shiho. So I'm not too sure if a Misty this early in the matchup is already hard countering things enough. But we also add that up with the Berkilds. 2 units that cannot be stunned.
Yep, not being stunned right there, bringing in another bit of monkey business then from the side of GutsTheBerserk right there. Some more self-sustaining that unit, and we know what that guy can do if he gets the turn in the right order.
But we also know what the unit can do if he doesn't get that turn in the right order, and Guts knows that as well, and therefore is taking it away. This is kind of a draft where your enemy has 0 cleanses, not that much healing. This is the perfect scenario for an Amber, but we're gonna go for an Amnevel.
Annabelle coming out then. We know if she can get her stuff off, it's going to be useful, but Seimei can definitely clean that one up.
Yeah, Seimei I would definitely say is a must ban. You want to be working with your debuffs. You want to have that 3-turn slow coming in there. So I'm expecting that one for a ban.
Let's see if it even gets through right here. Tito Gufflet taking a lot of time on all of his picks right here. Maybe a little bit undecided on how he's going to take down one of his friends. Bringing in the Layla instead then into those 3 water units.
Yeah, the Layla also instant ban on both sides on that NFL and that Layla.
Let's find out. 28 versus 33 speed leads going into our match number 3 of today. Tito Gufflet rank 3 versus Guts rank 5 right now.
Yeah, let's see. First turn does go to the Shiho. Because of that higher lead, can take it out and can get the stun right away.
Does manage to get it right there. She won't be taking a turn right now. Fire Megumi cutting in where you're looking to get maybe a strip and a stun going through. Just getting the strip right now then.
Yeah, doesn't want to have the Josephine take the turn as of yet. He's trying to get a defense break, I assume. So is he going to connect the defense break? And what is going to be your first target that you're going for? No, we're actually going to go for the stun with this one. His shield cannot be procced out, but you can be looking at a Misty being provoked. No, we're actually going to provoke the Escher.
Yeah, provoking the Escher right now. You're going into some shields as well if you're this Misty right now. But you do have some damage coming through, but it's not quite stacked up.
Yeah, we're gonna go into this Josephine just for skill 1, so no defense break landing just yet. Interesting to see the skills of Tito flying thus far, but we can't deny the turns on this Eresion just thus far.
Getting through there, you managed to get that invincibility as well right now. But Escher is taking a lot of damage. Are you going to get him off this field quickly for your Guts?
Yeah, also the question is, if you leave that counter on the field, is actually gonna leave the counter on the field just yet. Is working on spreading the damage, and his Burkle is being very inconsistent with trying to land those stuns.
Yeah, not managing to take them out right now. Just going into that Fire Megumi then, interestingly enough, right there, say.
Yeah, still trying to get... I think both players are really trying to spread the damage a little bit too much. We do get the defense break right now. We do get the branding. This is a perfect scenario for a skill 2, but is it going to be enough damage? That's a lot of damage plus a heal block coming in.
Yeah, heal block I think is important there as well right now. Eresion does get a turn. He's got all of those skills available as well. He's going to get some heal blocks of his own and another one.
Yeah, and an additional turn. But this is also kind of the moment you don't really want to send anything because you want to be... the additional turn, but you have the heal block. Still has to send out a skill 1, and I think we're going to say goodbye to a monkey based on the units that are moving right after.
Yeah, I think so as well right there. I mean, Josephine's going to be able to come in, but she's not going to be able to stun anything really apart from that Megumi. And wow, Berkhild is at least taking the turns.
Berkhild is not landing the defense breaks that much, but it is taking the turns right there. We also have a little bit of cycling coming in from this Shiho, but is it going to be enough? Because he's looking at a slow, and that's not a very tanky Shiho right there.
Definitely not right there, but you do have that skill 3 available. Some big damage going to go into that Berkhild as well. But I mean, still healthy.
Yeah, still looking pretty healthy, so it looks a little bit squishy, so I guess it's a high accuracy Shiho right there, because either the Berkhild is doing a lot of damage or this Shiho looks very squishy.
Oh, I mean, you've got the immunity right there. And now look at this. Berkhild is doing some real work there.
Yeah, Berkhild is back to play. We have seen her as a speed contester a few metas ago. Then she was kind of away for a bit. And now she's back in this stunning meta where she cannot be stunned. Just taking those additional turns. Chip damage is what we're looking at. Defense break is what we like to see. With branding and a victory for Tito Gufflet.
There you go. Tito Gufflet taking that first point then against GutsTheBerserk right there. He's still in rank number 3 as we can see at the moment. Guts wants to get a point to try and jump up a spot at least in this Summoners War European League. Last time we did have those pre-bans of Water Gandalf and the Light Hwarang as well. We're allowing Eresions going around. I wonder if we will during this one, say.
Yeah, let's see if the Russian is going to be back in play. No, we're going to be trauma banning. Well, actually, kind of banning your own unit and then trauma banning on the other side.
Yeah, the Berkhild or Light Ivor coming in there as well as the Misty as well. So Tito Gufflet with that first pick this time around. Is he going to look to lock in as well his own 33 lead with that Eresion, or is he going to play around it?
Yeah, let's see if we're gonna see an aggression right away coming up. It is the most common thing you see out there, and I'm not too sure what other playstyle he likes to play around, but he's definitely taking his time, and nope, still locking it in.
Locking in right there. GutsTheBerserk going back to the Vanessa, his own 33 speed lead as well, then say. I mean, Parter as well. This is kind of his previous setup that he's been using.
Yeah, it's a setup that's very strong, and also Tito is locking in the most common thing on the leaderboards right now. Double Draken Warrior plus an Escher. Let's see what Guts has as an answer against those things, because he probably has been playing against this exact setup for quite a while.
If he hasn't been playing on leaderboard recently, I'll tell you that much. Say, third and fourth pick coming in. Oh, an Etna coming out onto the field. Are we going to be seeing maybe a Praha at some point as well? Or Shields, baby?
Yeah, we're gonna go for some shields, but I'm not too sure if those shields do too much, because they're normally good into stunts, but depending if Tito has a Despair on one of the two Draken Warriors, all of the other units don't have like a bolt in stun itself, so the Josephine might not be that great, and I do really like that fourth and fifth pick. Cadiz has been picking up a lot of pace on the leaderboards as well. That unit can be very strong in this meta.
Definitely can. I mean, Guts seeing what he can answer in that fifth pick. Feels like it's just going to be a ban anyway, though, say.
Yeah, it could be a ban, but also this kind of opens up to maybe ban out the Gandalf and therefore not fight any of the sustain on the enemy side, while you also have just mediocre sustain by yourself on just the Escher.
Let's find out. We're getting then the bans coming in. We've got the Carnal, we've got that Solvark, we've got 33 speed leads for both Tito Gufflet and GutsTheBerserk. It's our match 3 set number 2 this time between Tito Gufflet and Guts. Who's going to get that point? It's around third place right now.
Let's see what we can do with those skills at the moment. We have to keep in mind that this Pader will cleanse things off the moment we start sending skills. Also, this Cadiz is not looking at a will rune, but most of the time it is on revenge. It's actually moving in front of the Eresion.
Yeah, it does move in front right there. You've got Eresion coming through as well. So he's taking a lot of turns, getting some pushbacks. Hwarang to come in for some damage as well. But the moment Guts gets online, those shields are going to come up.
Yeah, shields are going to come up. Plus this counter, that's such a crucial timing to get those counters in. Because the counter, even if there's nothing to steal, with the recent buff of the Cadiz, it's still taking some attack bar.
It is taking some right there. You're getting some shields up. You're getting that damage coming back to yourself as well right there, Sammy. Not getting a stun either.
Ooh, that's a really big resistance right there, because I can see the potential of this Pader taking out the first life. If you push it back far enough, you might even take it on the second life.
I mean, look right there. Escher coming in. You've got it out of the way right now. It is going to be able to come in and take a turn. You've got some immunity up, but Hwarang's coming as well, eh? Oh.
Ooh, the hard hit right there of this Pader, but the HP of the Cadiz is a lot right there. We take out the, I would say in the side of Guts, the main damage dealer, because this Pader is known to be doing a lot of damage. Whereas I don't think that this Josephine is super high on the damage.
Let's see right here. I mean, Cadiz hanging on for his life right there, providing, like you were saying. Oh, wow, okay. Vanessa coming to play.
Vanessa coming to play. It was another revenge right there. I'm not sure if that's triple revenge. I haven't seen it violent proc just yet, I think. But there's a lot of revenge on that unit thus far. But what's also a lot is these additional turns on this Eresion.
Yeah, it is right here. And I mean, even though you're on the side of Guts, you might be able to take out this Cadiz. Look at Hwarang. He's slowly just picking up the pace, more damage.
Yeah, Hwarang is just simply doing so much work, and it's going to be so much faster than anything else on the field. We do get a stun and a provoke on this Escher right there, but we're looking at more and more turns on this Hwarang, not caring about those shields. Do you take it out? Sliver of health.
Yeah, sliver of health right there. You do get another stun, though, if you're Vanessa on that Cadiz right there.
Yep, another stun, but look who's moving next once again. Well, we have once again a double turn on this Eresion. It's just such a dangerous unit right there. And also the Josephine, because of this Eresion not being on Despair, is kind of useless, because she never had to proc her passive for getting any shields up, because simply nothing is stunning on the side of Tito Gufflet in this matchup.
It isn't. You've managed to get rid of Cadiz at least right now, but I can't see you. Oh, those shields are big, eh?
Yeah, those shields are definitely doing a lot of work, but the moment that you go for speed buffs right now, you can still hit this potentially. Nope, doesn't hit it, and now we're gonna go for skill 2. Skill 2 does not care about the shields. We take it out, additional turn on this Hwarang, and that's where we start chipping the next unit. Some Massacre coming in, that's gonna be half HP Josephine.
Yeah, wow, look at this, just the strength of that like Hwarang now that he's online as well. So, I mean, Gandalf's done crazy things with Josephine, but I don't think you can get through this Hwarang.
Nope, it's not gonna happen, and that is going to be 2 points to the side of Tito Gufflet.
continuing the pattern then, eh? Like, at the moment, everyone on that left-hand side has had a 2-0 in our competition right there. I mean, for me, it just felt very much like Tito Gufflet was very prepared, knew how to kind of respond to maybe what Guts might have had cooking, and just some of those units that were slowly chipping away. You had the Berghild, you had the Misty coming around, then you also had, in that last one, my mind's just gone completely blank, say, so you can remind me, but such, like Huarang, there you go, that's the one that I was looking for. Just super deadly units that you kind of can't miss during the draft, right?
Yeah, it was one of those things where he went for a Josephine plus a Gandalf when there was still the Huarang open. Plus, the Josephine had nothing to be stunned by on the enemy side. And that's kind of the gamble with a Dragon Warrior, or mainly on Wind. That one is often on Despair, but in this case, nothing was on Despair. Nothing was providing a stun. This Josephine tank becomes a little bit useless.
Yeah, definitely. And if she can't get that skill 3 coming through the passive to make sure she's taking those extra turns, she hardly took any. And Cadiz came along and said, I'll eat those ones up. There you go. We're going to be bringing you just the current standings from today, the confirmation. We do have 2 O's across the board for the people on the left-hand side. I know you guys in chat might be getting a little bit worried right there, you know? I mean, look who's on the right-hand side of this next one, say.
Yeah, it's gonna be a Smokes against Obabo matchup. Smokes always bringing out all of the LDs. Also picked up a Aragon on Dark. Arguably the strongest collab unit there is right now. Also, I would say top of the line LD overall in general sense. So let's see if he can make that work against Obabo, or is it simply going to be banned out?
Let's find out right here. 2 guys we know all about. Let us know in chat who you think is going to be winning this one. Say, what about you though?
Well, I have to give it to my man Obabo. He's currently sitting rank 1 in the leaderboards, whereas Smokes, he's playing well, but he's still kind of struggling with a lot of the meta things out there. Plus, he's working with a lot of stunts, and that Dark Zenitsu will be on the field when possible.
Let's see who is going to bring the action right here in our match number 4 of the Summoners War European League. What do you get when there's a fire in IKEA? Smoked Swedish meatballs. And maybe a hot dog. Let's find out. Smokes versus Obabo in our match number 4 right here. Say, like you said, sharing a couple of units as well, but Etna being taken out and that Yonhong, we're getting rid of some speed.
Yeah, definitely getting rid of a lot of speed on both sides in this case, which also does enable Obabo to go for the Erishin. He wasn't playing that much Erishin until like a week ago, but he started picking up that unit and it does actually work out for him very well. So him locking it in is definitely one of a bit of a steal, but also it does work for himself.
Definitely does work for himself. Is he going to look to lock it in though? We know Smokes can be fast. We know some of those comps that he has that can be very, very pretty to look at, I would say, with some LDs thrown in there as well. And Obabo is going to lock it in. Smokes opting then for the Fire Megumi and already stealing that Dark Zenitsu.
Ooh, I forgot about that one. Yes, Smokes does have a Dark Zenitsu himself as well. So bringing that up with a unit that does provide stuns is very strong right there. So great counter pick by Smokes this far. Let's see how Obabo likes to respond, because he does like a Shio if he wants to go speed contesting. Does go for it, and an Inosuke.
Wow, Fire Inosuke coming out to play then on the side of Obabo right here. 3rd and 4th pick coming in for Smokes right here. How are you going to play? Okay, bringing some sustain coming through potentially with those shields on Josephine. 4th pick as well.
Yeah, do we go for a Gandalf right away? Gandalf is a little bit taken care of by this Inosuke because of heal blocks. Also, the Erishin does have the heal block, so you can get away with it to not go for the Gandalf, but Gandalf still seems like a pretty strong option in this.
Ooh, throwing in an Okeanos then right there. Didn't work out for Scribble in a previous match today, but how can Smokes look to work that through into this match right here? 4th and 5th pick coming in from Obabo then.
I'm not too sure about this Okeanos. I feel like it's kind of forcing a little bit too much of the same, whereas some of the units on the side of Obabo already do counter it, and that is the skill thing that Obabo can do. You can be pre-banning that Atna, but is that set actually on the Atna, or does he switch it out to the Sonya?
And then just partnering up with a little bit more of that Misty to get some damage through as well right now. Smokes, if you're looking to already signal and not want to deal with a Sonya right here, how are you looking to respond?
Yeah, something along the lines of an NFL might be pretty strong, because you do provide the slows, you do have some sustain and some healing coming in. It's gonna go for a Leo. Does counter 2 units on the field, but I can expect your Leo to be banned out guaranteed, but then you still have to ban out that Sonya.
Yep. Head games, mind games coming into play right here. What will the fellas decide to look to lock out in this draft right here? Like you said, Leo seems like an instant one. Are you going to risk it and see what's going to happen? It's
a difficult one. Nope, we're not going to see what's going to happen, and exactly those 2 bans are on the field.
28 speed versus a 33 speed lead then in our match number 4 between Smokes, rank 7 versus Obabo, now rank 2, but still has that game in hand.
Yeah, let's see, Shiho, can you connect your stuns? Do we land it towards the Okeanos, or are we gonna go for the play where we just send it for damage on this Dark Zen?
Going into that Okeanos saying you are going to proc the passive right now, but that's a good amount of damage coming out, and wow!
Ooh, we're sitting on some plot armor once again right there, but we do get an additional turn on the side of Smokes to counter not having a strip on that Shiho right now.
Yeah, it does manage to use it. Can use it to look for the skill 3 in the end, going for some stuns on that Intermission right now, following up with some damage as well.
Yeah, in hindsight, trying to stun the Inosuke is super difficult, so I think he should have went for the reset on the Shiho and then try to get the stun with his Zenitsu at a later moment, because landing anything is really hard on this Inosuke, and this Inosuke is doing a lot of work thus far.
We've got those provokes coming around, we've got Hero Blocks, we've got this Monkey as well going for a skill 2. He had a lot of all last week.
Yeah, that was once again the full all in the all or nothing. We land on 3 out of 3 units. The only unit we could not land on, of course, did not happen right there, but we're already taking units off the field.
Yep, and right there, you've taken away the damage. I mean, Okeanos can look to provide some, but if you can get taken out by a Misty even.
Yeah, the Misty is doing a lot of damage, simply taking out the units left and right, and that is once again a victory for Obabo.
Obabo carrying on with the close to 100% win record right now. He's only lost 1 set in total of this Summoners War European League right here. Can Smokes look to try and be the second person to chip the armor of him, or is he just way too strong at the moment, say?
Yeah, it's one of those things. The Inosuke was definitely well placed. I think the Okeanos, there could have been something different than the Okeanos, and now we're actually going to go for respecting the Aragon and we're respecting the Sonya. Big question is the Atna still going to be on the set right now, or was that a secondary set on the Sonya? Because in the end, Sonya was banned out, and it was a good ban on that Sonya, but we haven't seen it in play, so you're not entirely sure if that had the best set. But in this case, we do have Eretion on the side of Smokes.
Eretion coming in with that first pick of Barbo right here. Does have a Vanessa and Zenitsu, so we're kind of trading that Dark Zenitsu there.
Yeah, let's see how Smokes can play against that Dark Zenitsu in this case. Could go for stealing a Shiho, but I'm not really sure if that's the playstyle of Smokes, because he already has fast runes seated at that Yeonhong, and you can only have a finite amount of fast runes.
There you go, we're seeing that Yeonhong coming into play, partnering up with another speed lead as well, so very much a contest for that turn 1. Does Obabo want to continue that? Are we going to see an Etna coming out, or is he going to pivot?
Yeah, that's the big question. Is that Athena ruined right now? But also the question, do you want to go for something along the lines of a Shio? Is still going to go for the Shio. Trust the unit is working very well thus far. And we're pairing that up with a light pony.
Yeah, bringing some sustain then coming through there from the side of Obabo right now. Smokes, if you want in that turn 1, we've seen it a few times in previous weeks. He took that first turn, but he couldn't quite finish off the job. Does he have a 4th and 5th unit to do it here?
Yeah, it's definitely an option where you could still go for Gianna, but then you're fighting the Shio on the enemy side. And I think that Obabo can make a good 5th, where the 5th is also a must ban. So let's see if Smokes has good answers for Gianna. But what do you like to pair up with that Gianna right now? Going back to Solvark.
Solvark, so we're seeing the brothers coming out together in this one right now. So 5th pick, like you said, important for Obabo. Do you almost need to make it as an instant ban?
Yeah, you kind of have to make it as an insta ban. And the question is Obabo able to ban out the Yeonhong? Because if you can get the ban on the Yeonhong and his Shio is available, you can deny a lot of things, potentially. Gonna go back to it. Inosuke is very bruiser heavy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it did work a lot from him in that last one right here, signaling we've taken out the Solvark and we're taking out that Unicorn as well there. So speed leads for 33 on both Obabo and Smokes right now. He's back up into first position in our leaderboard right now. Can he get that 2nd point?
Yeah, let's see what's going to happen on this one, because in this case we do get Gianna to get the skills off. However, the Shio is not on will, so it is a 75 check if you can actually get it. No, we're going to go for the S2. Does fully connect the S2, but we're not speed tuned to a super fast Yeonhong. Shio cuts and stuns.
He does manage to cut in, gets that stun right there. Is that such a crucial, pivotal moment right now? I mean, Fire Megumi's going to try his best.
We also had the additional turn towards the Fire Megumi. You would have rather seen that on the Gianna right there, because once again, we are going to be eating some Devour, which is going to provoke the enemy team.
Yeah, oh, deciding not to then right there on that one, say another opportunity to.
Yep, another opportunity. I think he's gonna provide or hope for the stuns on this skill too, so he doesn't really need that. And he does connect the stuns, but not the stun on the Gianna just yet.
No, not on the Gianna, but that Yonhong is in dangerous territory for a Dark Zenitsu as well there, so remember, he's still technically got 5 units on his side with that Vanessa third skill.
Yep, and we're taking off the first on the side of Smokes. Also still getting more attack bar on the Zenitsu, just rocking in so much attack bar every time. So let's see how much Obabo can do to do this, to do it against it.
Yeah, resisting as well right there on any defense breaks. Say you've got the skill 1 going in for that skill 3 onto the Gianna then.
Ooh, can we connect the stun wrong element? Does actually get the pushback, so the pushback still kind of works. But this bomb has to do a lot of work. Can we get at least 3 of the other stuns? We connect 0 stuns. We do see 2 resistance checks coming on the Monkey and the Vanessa, but everything was simply resisted right there.
Not what you want to see if you are Smokes right there. Because look, you can look to set up some defense breaks coming out on the side of Obabo as well. Does manage to land as well. Oh.
Plus the additional turn, once again, Obabo's luck is showing once again. The moment that you're fighting a Gianna and you just simply resist everything out there, that's where you're knowing you should be buying a little bit of lottery tickets because things are working out for you.
They definitely are working out for you. Another all or nothing, you're going to clean out that Gianna. And like you said, you've got the 4 units against these two, say. Obabo again, just proving and showing why he's at the top of this leaderboard.
Yeah, things are definitely working out very well for him. I would say very good draft, that definitely, but also the RNG absolutely in the favor of Obabo right here.
Exactly, you need a little bit of everything, and when it all comes together, you can just start to delete units and look at that, bringing it back. He's only lost 1 set in this whole competition so far, say, and this Monkey, with that skill 3, is going to confirm it again. A 2-0 win for Obabo in the Summoners War European League. We've had 4 matches so far, say. 4 2-0s as well to start off the day. Some good fireworks for you, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a lot more 2-0s than we normally see, but also the draft on Smokes, I don't think that his drafting was weak at all, because 1 proc on the other side, if Gianna started with a proc out right away from the get-go or anything like that, match could have been very different, but definitely if you're resisting a lot of things like an Inosuke become so freaking strong and super hard to deal with.
They definitely do, and there you go. That's going to prove that Obabo is at the top right now, not even on the leaderboard, but on our Summoners War European League leaderboard as well, say. Like I said, 4 matches so far, 7 still yet to come for the rest of today. There's still some of those players that we're going to be seeing later on as well. Probably getting close to almost only 3 matches left for some of these players as well. Every point matters. You need it for that leaderboard. And I think looking at it as well, say 2-0 for Pafix today, 2-0 for Obabo as well. The lead at the top of this leaderboard is really starting to stretch out a little bit further than those guys in the mid-table probably want, right?
Yeah, I definitely do think so. And also, I think all of the people that just won are also our whole lineup of top 4 on the leaderboards right now. Because I think the leaderboards is looking like Obabo 1, Pafix 2, Tito 3, and Raxxaz 4. So all of the 4 players that won just now, I think are also our top 4 in the leaderboards. But we're going to see that at the end of the day, if I'm correct with that, or if these other players are still being able to rock some points.
Exactly. Like I said, we've still got 7 more matches yet to come as well. Maybe a flip of the tails for those other matches. Maybe even a little bit more crucial, those matches, to be honest, say. I mean, the people sitting around in that 10th, 11th, 12th, even all the way up to the 8th position really need to start gathering points. You're running out of time. I mean, you've got the rest of today. You've got next Wednesday at 8 o'clock to try and prove it as well. Otherwise, we ain't going to be seeing you at all on that 4th of April as well. Great matches so far. Meta coming back into the world of the Summoners War European League as well, say. I mean, predictions for you? You're looking strong. I think it was 75%, right?
Yeah, 75%. They only went on the fence on the other one. So I think I'm going to go one side full on all of these matches because we're going to see 2-0 all of the 11 matches today. Let's see if we can make that work. But we're going to make that work right after this break. Grab a
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Summoners War European League 2026. We're here bringing you all of the action. And we've already had some of the action today so far, say. If you weren't around here earlier and you've missed anything, we've currently had 4 matches. Obabo has already played at least one of those matches as well for all of you in chat. And it's currently been 2-0s across the board, say. Do you think it's something we're going to be seeing that pattern kind of continuing through the rest of these ones today?
Well, I already made my guess on 2-0s the whole day through, so I'm going to go for 2-0s the whole day through. But let's see if I can actually make that work.
Damn, look at this, finally. Not sitting on the fence. Love it. Love to see it. No more, well, probably a lot of caster cursing then probably coming through as well, to be honest, if we're saying it's only going to be 2-0s along the way. And like we've seen as well, it's in our week number 5. We've got another week after this as well to determine who is going to get through to those playoffs, 4th of April. I'm going to keep saying it until you've got it in your calendar and it's already locked in, ready to go, because we want to see your wonderful... Well, we don't really see your faces, but, you know, we want to see you in chat at least, watching and supporting along our Summoners War European League right there. 7 more matches yet to come today as well, say. Ayez and Last Deadly Sin. These guys, I think, at the moment are around 12th and maybe 10th position in our league right here. Really, really desperate for these points, right?
Yeah, they definitely have to start stacking up those points. And also where 2-0 happens is where you get more of a shift in the leaderboards. Because in the end, if everyone plays 1-1, everyone moves up at the same pace, but nothing really shifts in the leaderboard at all. 2-0s is what you like to see. So Ayez against Last Deadly Sin in this case. As you mentioned, both of the 2 players that are currently not in position for playoffs, but also 2 players that, especially on the side of Ayez, has been switching a lot around with his draft. I definitely really like this El Sharian, in this case, Delight's Ifrit kind of style draft, sniping out at Sonya, but I don't think he's playing that as much anymore.
I mean, you've already said it. It's a 2-0. Where are we going?
We're going Last Deadly Sin in this case.
Ooh, going in for Last Deadly Sin then. Let's find out. They both made it to the big stage, but it would be a sin to not have a newcomer around for the playoffs. Let's find out if they can get there. Ayez and Last Deadly Sin right now, 12th versus 10th. They need to get into that top 8 in order to make it through to our playoffs as well. Pre-bans going to be coming in. Are we going to see Intermission? Wow, very different pre-ban in this one.
Very, very different pre-ban in this one. Both light units that are very strong and very bruiser heavy. Not going to see neither on the field. But let's see, Last Deadly Sin. Do we go to an Intermission first pick? Is that what we're like to play? No, we're actually going to go Vanessa first pick. And, ooh, I'm liking what I'm seeing. Crack. Is Ayez going back to the cleave?
Yeah, are we going to see some very quick action right here? Last Deadly Sin looking to compete them with that speed, bringing in a Sekhmet right now. Maybe you need another one or a little bit of a backup speed lead if you want to try and contest.
I definitely do like this style of Sekhmet because most of the time Crack is placed with units with ignore defense kind of style. Pont is also very interesting one for a speed lead right there. Not too sure about the Josephine because potentially nothing is gonna stun you on the enemy side just yet. Plus you have a Heigang to work through. But let's see where we're gonna go. No, we're actually gonna go for Crack plus a Bruiser lineup. Well, that is a Sonya pick if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, let's see if Last Deadly Sin's got it prepped as well right now. I mean, you've got this Juno as well, the Dark Zenitsu. Oh, Irene action. So we are speed contesting as well, getting somebody in the bag.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those options. This is definitely an option. I'm not sure who did it last time. The Irene plus Ella combination looks very dominant and very strong right now. But was that Last Deadly Sin who had that? I think it was Slappy who had that.
Yeah, I think it was also Slappy as well. So he's bringing in that Fire Monkey, seeing the pivot into Bruiser on his opponent's side and bringing his own unit as well to get some self-sustain through. 5th pick right here, say.
Ooh, going for a Lima. Definitely very different lineup than normally, but I think that this is an option. If you simply ban out the Dark Zenitsu, where was the damage coming from?
Yeah, I mean, he's made it through right here. We've got a resistance of 55 against a 33 speed lead between Ayez and Last Deadly Sin. I mean, you're last at the moment. Throw everything at the wall.
Yeah, definitely what we're gonna see. Also, this Irene is on Violent, it seems, because this Vanessa, either it's a very fast, swift Vanessa, but I kind of doubt that. Violent Irene also, once again, going for the Crack, not going for the Dark Zenitsu. So he's feeling like he can deal with the Dark Zenitsu, fighting the unit head on itself.
Yeah, he is just using the skill ones as well right now, just plowing a little bit more damage. Are you going to get some stuns? Hello, Josephine.
Yep, hello, Josephine. And I think he should have actually went for the skill 2 earlier to at least remove the immunity from the Zenitsu, because at that moment you could have potentially landed a death break from this monkey coming in, but right now you're looking at too many stunts and glancings to do that at a later moment.
Yeah, a lot of glancing, the 2 stuns as well. Dark Zenitsu's slowly getting online, a little bit more damage. I mean, can he get rid of him before that monkey gets online?
Ooh, did get a resistance on that defense break right there. And also the crack is coming online pretty soon, which also provides a lot of damage towards the enemy team with that skill 3.
Let's find out if he is going to take that turn. Oh, just eating up all of those debuffs as well right now. Zenitsu taking more turns. Like you said, Craig is coming around the corner.
Ooh, also has the option to go for skill 2. Maybe on that defense break would have taken it out, but you gain so much attack bar that this will simply start dealing enough damage.
Yeah, deciding not to go for it against that monkey, interestingly enough.
Yes, maybe betting on that the dot would do enough, but oh, not if you give it shields. If you give shields to the enemy, the dots is not gonna do enough. But on this skill 4 defense break, you should be able to take it out.
Yeah, let's see if he opts to use it then right here. When he's got a moment to go for it. Going in for that Vanessa instead, the different skill.
Oh, maybe he wants to go for skill 2 on this. No, he's gonna leave the monkey alive, but the dots and oh, the miscrit. The miscrit made it while your unit is still alive, and we're replacing some of those shields for, once again, a dot.
Wow, damn. So, you've got to confirm these kills, Sue. We say it all the time, but right there, leaving these units on the field right now. Is it a scary moment?
It is a scary moment, but this damage over time will definitely take it out right now. Whereas if you get another stun on it, no, okay, we do take it out on that AoE hit right now. Can we do anything on that? Does get a lot of attack bar gain, and that's just the sheer strength of this unit on the field. No additional times on the side of Last Deadly Sin. Oh, there we have one. Do you just take it out on the skill 1? No, we're not taking out anything just yet. We're giving more turns to the enemy.
Yeah, we are getting those turns. You got the defense breaking yourself, but it looks like all she wrote right here for Last Deadly Sin. Aya's looking strong.
Yep, Aya's definitely looking strong, and my prediction goes out of the window with this one.
We're bringing those percentages back round. Too much math for me to work exactly that percentage right now, say, but 1-0 at the moment to Ayez. Maybe might not find himself sitting at the bottom of the leaderboard after that one as well. Let's see. Yeah, does move up then into 11th. So, I mean, let's find out who can take the point in the next one. Are we going to have some more crazy pre-bans?
Yeah, let's see what we have for pre-bans, because playing against anyone that owns a Dark Zenitsu, I would always be pre-banning the Dark Zenitsu, because especially if you're planning to locking any stuns anytime soon, which pretty much the whole meta is revolved around, Dark Zenitsu is the unit you would like to pre-ban.
Yeah, there we see him out of the field alongside a Vanessa 33 lead then as well. Not being able to use in this first pick right here. Ayez having that first pick in this time around. Again, going in for the hair gang.
Yep, going for a Heigang. On the other side, really quick response with 2 units on the side of that Nyx and on the side of that Sekhmet. Let's see what Ayez does have as an answer against that. Can go back to the crack again, but I don't think it was fast enough potentially against those 2 units on the side of Last Deadly Sin.
Let's see. This is the pivotal moment right here. We are going to see Craig come back out then and partnering up with an Achroma as well. I'm not dealing with any debuffs.
Yeah, that's actually a really strong unit. The moment you can get defense breaks in, but we're pacing a lot of speed on the side of Arya, especially if we're going to go for Verd in there as well. If you do get Glance, it's there to stay for a long time, but that's a super interesting draft on the side of Arya because we're locking in no defense breaks at all.
Nope, none are in there. And then on the side of the Last Deadly Sin, bringing in that Irene in that 5th pick. We're going to be banning out then the Verdahill and the Angela. So we're going to get a little bit less cycling and a little bit less healing during this matchup right here. So leads coming in as well. We're going to have that speed lead and a resistance of 55 as well on the side of Ayez. It's our match number 5, set 2. Can Ayez double his points? So we're going to have another 2-0.
I think that this is the case where probably an HP lead would do more. No, the resistance lead actually does work out. But I do think a Sekhmet most likely is on max accuracy, but somehow these things, they are working. So let's say 55 resistance leaks makes it 155. It works.
There you go. Math in the math right there. You've got this Achrome being able to come in as well. Maybe provide some sort of a silence going there. Gets it as well on the Sekhmet. But like you said, no defense breaks, so not a huge amount of damage.
Yeah, not a lot of damage, plus simply working on an Achroma. Achroma is relatively easy to take out. It does have a good bit of defense in the base, but the HP is not that much.
It's definitely not. You really need this Limer back out now. You can look to cleanse, get up that invincibility as well right there. Bit of healing too.
Yep, where we can give the trap to itself, so all of those units have to target that for at least 2 turns right now. And the moment that Sekhmet is online, Sekhmet likes all of those buffs because that's perma uptime for her skill 3.
Yeah, it is. You get some stuns. You get 2 good stuns right there as well. They'll say, can you keep controlling that Sekhmet?
Yep, so far additional turn this Lima's doing a good bit of chunk of additional damage work right there. Also, once again getting resist. That one is a more of a fair resistance check right there because the monkey is most likely not on max accuracy.
Maybe not right here. Can you look to get a little pushback? Maybe put it in the rebound per moment for a Chroma? Maybe a bit high?
Ooh, the bounce does not connect. The bounce doesn't have enough damage stats on that unit, but it is working out somehow.
It is working out somehow right now. You've had that Lima as well taking a lot of turns. She's going to be able to cycle, or is she? Oh, good cool time.
Good call time right there, but once again, silence of this Chroma is working very well. And that's also the interesting factor of this whole style, what Less Deadly Sin was hitting at first. The Chroma most likely is a lot easier to take out than a Heigang.
Definitely is right there, but can you look to switch that focus? You're really plowing it into that Lima right now, say, but if she doesn't go down, she's got that skill 3 coming.
Yep, skill 3 coming up. We have the start of the end once again coming in with all of that immunity, all of those healing buffs, and that invisibility buff right there. We can put it, however, in the trap, but I'm not even sure if that works against a Chroma. I don't think you can put a Chroma in the back.
Nope. So we've carried on the train. Another 2-0 then right there. Ayez taking it against Last Deadly Sin. Rising up. That was a real bottom of the leaderboard clash as well right there. 2 huge points. Let's see at the end of the day how that affects the swing of our leaderboard. I mean, say, interesting drafts. Very different to everything we've seen today, at least. I think, if anything, for the viewers, interesting to see what else can be played in Summoner's War apart from the Eldiretion, the Water Gandalf, and we won't name all of those different units, but interesting style of play. But is that maybe why they find themselves at the bottom of the leaderboard?
Yeah, I don't think that against the top of the leaderboards, these kind of drafts would have done too much. And I would also say from both sides, the drafts looked a little bit questionable / weird. Also the pick of units, like going in for crack without any proper damage or defense break or ignore defense kind of units is a little bit odd, but in the end, it did work out.
It did work out, and he got those 2 points, crucial for him right there. We don't know yet if that really makes much of a difference. He needs to be in that top 8 come the end of next week on that Wednesday, but just we'll have a review of all of the matches that we've seen so far from today. We're currently, 5 matches in so far, 2-0s all across the board. Let's see if we can just continue that action, because we're going to be having Malignant and Slappy coming up next, say. Again, both these guys probably not really where they'd want to be in the leaderboard going into that 5th weekday. But I mean, these guys, we know about them now. Malignant, it's just not been working out for him, right?
Yeah, it's not really been working out for me. He's really forcing in the Vanessa into Yan Hong Gianna. It's not really been working too well, but I think Slappy has the exact same combo, the Yan Hong Gianna. So that combo is going to be contested. I've seen Malignant play a little bit more on the side of Burkill, pairing that up with the Jackson. So therefore your Burkill becomes a double Burkill for the attack bar gain. But is that really working out? Because it kind of shares the same counter in bruisers.
Let's find out, say, who we giving it to this one. You've already said 2-0, so who's the 2-0?
Oh, I would say I'll give it to Slappy, because Malignant, in general sense, I think on leaderboards, Malignant is playing better, but in the competition over here, it's just not really working out for the man. But let's see how that works out today.
Let's find out. Someone slap the DJ. Oh, wait, Slappy's already here. Let's hit it. Here we go, Malignant versus Slappy in our Summoners War European League Match 6. Rank 12th versus rank 9 as well. These guys not really where they want to be on this leaderboard. And those pre-bans, Berghild and Alayla.
Yeah, let's see what Slappy is gonna go for a first pick. Are we gonna go to comfortable style with a Erishan, or do we do something else? No, Yan Hong for a steal.
Yan Hong straight in there, knowing that it would be coming out against him if he didn't pick it early enough. Malignant, how are you going to be drafting today? Every time he's drafted, seriously, say it's not gone too well.
Yep, well, also we had somewhere I suggested to just draft completely off with your Douglas kind of style, and then it did not work. I think that was the matchup against Obabo. But he's going to go for a serious draft thus far, and same on the side of Slappy, locking in those units very fast.
Wow, 2 oracles, throwing back to say of the old times right there, I would say. Hey.
Yep, well, I was missing that Yan Hong right there, still missing that one, but I do like the style of Malignant into this, because the Ragdoll, all of those Oracles have so many AoEs, they often have a little bit of crit rate back and forth. Ragdoll is definitely one of those difficult units to deal with for those Oracles, but I'm also really liking the Shizuka on the side of Slappy, because that can provide any backup if anything goes wrong.
Yep, but I mean, look at that as a response as well right there. Say the Zenisek coming out, instantly banned, as well as that Shizuka as well. So it's a 33 versus a 24 speed lead going into our match number 6. Malignant 12th versus Slappy 9th. Who can get into that top 8?
Let's see what this Yan Hong can provide, because I expect Yan Hong to move first, and she does. I think you have to boost up the Gianna. Yes, we're gonna go for boosting that Gianna, and we have to connect all of these stuns.
Oh, you get 3, but it's not Viva Chell.
It is not Viva Joe, and that is the most crucial one. Also, we have a proc out over there. You can simply go for a cleanse over here, and this is where you summon the clouds, and everything on the enemy side is stunned.
Yeah, look at that. Not looking strong for Slappy going out of this kind of first movement of turns. Say, I mean, you've got Shiho. Where are you going to be sending? Do you try and get that Viva Chell just so she can't have an option? Or going in instead for the monkey?
Going in for the monkey. We also have a bomb sitting on the monkey right now. Comfortable position right there. But this Ragdoll has shown before to do a lot of damage. Plus, you can already go for a Switch of Destiny on that Gianna right now, simply to have it to 0 HP. But I think you can hold off on that skill.
Yep, holding off a little bit longer, I would say, right now. You've got this skill too, but you can't really go too many places to get rid of a unit right now. Slappy, uphill battle.
Ooh, bad additional turn right there, but we have the all or nothing. Is that a lot of all? That's a lot of all coming in there at that moment. Additional turn once again for Slappy, and Malignant was not even going to check that bomb. He's just out of the match.
Wow, how the turn tables right there, say. It looked like Slappy really wasn't in the driving seat at all, and all of a sudden, the flick of a unit came out, and there you have it. Slappy 1-0 against Malignant right here. I'm going to call a Douglas gameplay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a Douglas early pick right there. But actually, on the very early side of the match, I felt that the RNG moments for the Resistance were on the upper hand of Malignant. But the moment it was against Malignant, immediately it went all the way down. And we have a TL Lang ban and a Pater ban. Interesting on both sides, because neither of those two units were picked in the last round.
They weren't picked right there, but let's see what's got cooking here. So, I mean, Reno as well. We're going to see a Reno?
Good old Reno, luck of the dice. We're gonna go for a Jet, so I'm expecting some kind of Cleavy-ish style, and that explains the TL Lang ban right there. Gonna go back to an Erishan plus a Asher combination. Yep, that's a lot of attack bar coming in. That's very understandable. You ban that TL Lang.
Yeah, there you go. If you know what you're playing, you've got that pre-ban in the Summoners War European League as well. Third and fourth pick then for Slappy, bringing in that Layla to try and do some sort of disruption, at least on the side of Malignant. And that Tricks as well. Oh, yeah, there he is. There he is.
Ooh, there we go for the Douglas. Also, all of these units are locked in super fast, and it also comes down to the position where Layla has to land. Ooh, going back to the Phantom. I think Slappy has been trying out the Phantom a few times this league thus far, and so far none of the times it has really worked, but in this time it is respected. Big question is, Layla, can you land those cleanse blocks on the Juno when it matters?
Let's find out. Speed leads going into it. Malignant 12th, Slappy up to 8th. Now he's in those playoffs positions. Can he take this extra point?
Yep, we have the first turn going toward that Asher, and a second turn also belonging to the side of Slappy. But can you do enough with that right now? We have no will runes on these Tricks right there, but it did not matter for that first hit.
It didn't right there. Don't land anything on that Juno as well right now. Tricks is going to be following it very soon. You've got some good debuffs around.
Got good debuffs around. We have 2 landed on the Juno, but we also stun most of the units on the field. Juno's gonna be healing a lot of health every time that she takes a turn against this team.
Yeah, she did provide a lot of health right there. Slappy's got his own kind of health coming through that Esche, but is that Trix going to be around for long?
Yeah, that is going to be the big question. How much damage is this Massacre gonna deal? That's some good 5.5Ks per hit. If we get the pushback in right now, can we get enough damage? Yes, we can. This time around, we also have heal blocks, so landing anything on the Juno, well, we did not even land anything on the Juno thus far.
It's working perfectly for Slappy right now. I mean, you've still got Juno on the field. Was it a Vamp? I didn't see.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he's been rocking a Vampire Juno. Actually, I had myself a match against him just earlier. I think it was yesterday. And yes, it is still on Vampire, but it is not on Revenge from what I've seen on the previous matchup. If it comes down to the 1v3 Bruiser, Vampire is not one of those things that he could have. And this is a perfect rotation from this Dragon Warrior to get a lot of damage in from those buffs.
He is getting a lot in, and he's already got that heal block out as well, deciding not for the skill 2. Just doesn't stop any healing coming out. But, I mean, Layla on that field, it's going to get a bit tricky.
Yeah, it's definitely going to get very tricky. Plus the defense break. Defense break does so much damage from this Juno towards this Asher right now. Gonna go for pushbacks. Does not connect the pushback. And why would we leave at that moment? I think a Juno can definitely win that.
Yeah, interesting. Malignant had enough of that one right there. Slappy taking a 2-0 victory against him in the Summoners War European League. This train today, we're all aboard for the 2-0s, eh? Like, we have taken it all the way through, and says predictions, he's back on it. He is back on it, my friends. He's nearly 100%, a little bit less, but, you know, we don't know the math of it right now. But, I mean, there you go, say. Also, don't leave your matches. We don't know what that Juno could have done right.
I'm very positive that a Juno and Vampire can win that. Like, I kind of use my Juno exactly for those kind of matchup. You're fighting a Layla, wrong element. You're fighting a Asher that's nearly dead already. And you're fighting a Draco Warrior Wind. That's also wrong element. Juno likes those. Like, sure, you're not on Revenge. Revenge would help out a lot for clearing those matches, but I think you can definitely win that.
Definitely can. We'll never know. We can never find out now. Slappy does confirm that he takes us 2 points with him into the Summoners War European League leaderboard. And I think at the end there, it was getting him up into maybe the 8th, maybe into 7th as well. Kind of on that boundary of where you need to be to get through to our playoffs. Still matches yet to come for both of those players as well. We're slowly getting closer to the end and see how everything will come together for our final leaderboard. Plenty of matches still yet to come today, say as well, if I'm just looking down. Next one we've got is a very interesting matchup as well, otherwise known as the hair match.
It is going to be Scribble against Ismo. And for the people that weren't around at that time, I would have to think which year it was. I'm thinking 2024, 2025. I think 2024, where we had the, I think it was a prelim round of Ismo against Scribble, and whoever lost, only if it was 3-0, it would be no hair for that person. In this case, Scribble won 3-0.
He did, and Ismo was lucky enough that he didn't have to show off that haircut too much because he let it grow out before, obviously, the competition right there. Just as a recap for everyone, we've got those 2-0s that were confirmed on the board right now. Really, really strong. Another 2-0 is going to be coming this way, I think, maybe say. Scribble or Ismo, who's keeping the hair?
I think in this case, Ismo is gonna keep the hair. Once again, similar thing where Scribble kindly found his mojo and his way of playing in this meta with the Orition. Now he has to play without the Orition and also not playing necessarily against it because it's going to be most likely pre-banned both sides.
Let's find out if it manages to work here. Say, are you going to be 100% again going into our Summoners War European League? These guys, if you don't know who they are, where the hell have you been? They've been around the block a few times playing in our SWCs as well. Last time we saw this match, somebody lost his hair, but who will make the next bold move in this one? Let's find out. Scribble Bibble versus Ismo. Pre-ban say, we're going to see an Intermission, we're going to see some contest on LDs.
I think that Scribble has to ban the Origins because Ismo's first pick. On the other side, I could see a Burkild being pre-banned or, well, Jaeger, some of those kind of units, like one of the LDs that Scribble tends to use. Do we see exactly that? No, we're going to go for a Gianna and a Burkild. That does mean Ismo's going to be able to pick up that Origin.
There we go. Is he going to lock it in quickly, though? We've seen that Scribble usually going for that 33 Oliver instead as an answer right there. So maybe it's a pick that he can even potentially leave at some point, I would say. But
I think it is fine to still take it. You can also lock in an Antares first, but I'm pretty sure you're not going to do that. Neither for that Douglas, neither for the 16 LDs that you're going to show after this Douglas. Oh, he did not even go for that one. Just straight to the Erection.
Straight to the Erection. Scribble, you're going to play back with a few more mind games. Who are you going to be bringing out to play as well? Let's see. Is he going to play around a Jaeger as well later on into this one?
Most of the time he opens up with a Shio plus an Oliver, so he could go back to Shio Oliver, but he has to keep in mind, there are a lot of good LDs on the side of Ismo you would have to deal with. So is that something you would like to play in this matchup too?
Let's find out. He is locking it in. Ismo going back to that meta as well then. So we've got Eshe coming in and we're going to see the brother. Ooh.
Not the brother in this case, but an Okeanos, which is also one of the... I think this is like the most common deviation of the draft. The only thing is that deviation of the draft is not that strong into a Jaeger. It's understandable to go for the... Okeanos because you already see an Oliver on the field, but a Solvark would have maybe been like a bit more of protection that you're not going to face this Jaeger. But let's see what Ismo can do in later picks because he definitely does like his Fire Legolas. That might be pretty strong against this lineup.
Let's find out. Wait until the very last second right here. We're going in for that Lamelia instead right now, coming through hopefully to get some provoke, some big damage on an S2, but is he going to get a turn in?
Ooh, are we gonna go for the full combo? Not that necessarily the full combo that you normally see, which would be a Maximilian into a Triton, but Maximilian into a Megumi on Dark is nearly the same thing. Big issue is, and that's very well utilized by Scribble, if he locks in a Heigang, I think a Heigang is a great pick right there. Sure, the Megumi could have a little bit of too much pushbacks right there, but I think in most cases it will work out. Plus, your Shio's gonna outspeed the enemy if you ban off that Escher.
Let's find out if those bans do come through right now. Do you have to respect if you want to get that turn through if you're on the side of Ismo with the hair gang? Or how are you going to work around it? Really thinking this one through?
Yeah, bans are taking a bit longer because there's a lot of options. If I ban this, then that is the best ban for the enemy and other way around. So it really depends what does your enemy ban in this case. And we're actually going to go for a Lamilia ban and we're going to go for a Megumi ban.
There we go. So it's going to give options for 33 leads on both sides of these players going into it. Our Summoners War European League, match 7, 9th versus 7th. These guys are just on the cusp of those playoff spots right here.
Also, big question. We have a Shio that is on Will Runes. Shio on Will Runes is a lot stronger when you're fighting with a Heigang right now. Still going to go for the boost. Skill 3. Is also a big question. Does it actually connect the stun? Because if it doesn't connect the stuns, then most likely the units of Ismo will move right after the Shio, or you just land absolutely nothing.
Wow, Scribble getting some resistance checks coming in right there. Maxi in that awkward position does manage to really delete through that hair gang though.
Yeah, deleting the Heigang is definitely one of those things. You could almost send a skill 3 right now to try to get anywhere, but not too sure. Yep, we're gonna go for it. Does nearly take it out. Also, the additional, if he had the option right now that there was no threat state, he would have been able to take out a unit.
He definitely would have. But wow, that's all.
The all or nothing gets the all. When you first get nearly all resistance, you also get the all in all or nothing, and we're simply taking out the units. Jaeger's here for the justice of the cleanup, but this match does not feel like that much justice.
Wow, big call. Love that one, sir. I mean, right now, like you said, Jaeger is going to be taking over this field, just eating and chomping up like his brother Chow.
Yeah, this is one of those matchups like, yeah, I could have won this one. Let's run it back 3 more times and let's see if it works exactly like this. However, I must say that having a Shiho on Will Roots would have, if it was stripped, the Shiho would have been able to stun at least the, what's it called? The Maximilian or the Okeano, so the match wouldn't have looked as much damage as you saw right now. But this match could have looked very different both sides.
Definitely could have. You've got that skill 3. You can look to get rid of this Escher as well. Oliver's there just to control and keep it going. Set up for an S1. And wow, Scribble. I mean, again, he made him bold once. Is he going to make him bold again?
Yeah, that is the option right there. But then the big question is, are we going to share one apiece or is Scribble going to take both points? Because that might make it where Scribble moves up to top 8 position and actually also kicks out Ismo out of top 8 position.
We have it 1-0 for Scribble. Let's find out. Like you said, so crucial. We've got him in 8th right now. Ismo's in 7th as well. There's still more matches to be played after this, but you want to be in there to be safe as much as you possibly can. Pre-bans will be coming in right now. Do you have to respect that Eresion this time around?
Well, if the aggression lands like that on the enemy team, they can have it. Like for some people, like I'm sometimes looking at matches and it's like, why does the enemy have a 33 Legiana? Why is it despair stunning the whole field? That's not what it's supposed to do. And then sometimes you look at it like this and it's like, I thought it was a stripper, but apparently it doesn't do that sometimes.
I mean, say you've played this game for a long enough time to know that, right?
Yeah, but it still feels odd.
Of course it does. Pre-bans Eresion, and we've got the Fire Megumi being taken out right there. Opting instead of that, Oliver, to go for the Shiho as the first pick then.
Yes, needing the Shiho a bit more than the other units. Great counter by a Xingzi. And I think that this match is definitely gonna deep more into the Bruiser matchup where we're gonna see some Gandalfs potentially coming in later.
Let's find out. I mean, there's a signal and a sign already. Josephine coming out. Scribble locking straight away with those 2 light units, Jaeger and the Berghild.
Yeah, Jaeger and the Berghild, both units really shredding through shields and providing defense breaks. So maybe a Gandalf is not that great of a position right here. Could still go for the Fire Legolas, but let's see if Ismo has other kind of LD bruises that he might like to please in here. Nope, we're actually going to go for an Annabelle.
Yeah, bringing out some slows, bringing out some defense breaks as well. Very useful kit, as said many times before. And again, coming back to that Viva Shell.
Back to the Vivager, also back to an older style of meta with Wind Twin Angels. What would you like to pair with those units? Because we're definitely looking at a bit more bruiser kind of style. Scribble does like his Okeanos, does like his Lamilia, but neither of the two feels really fitting in this draft.
No, it doesn't right here. You've got that 5th pick as well. How are you going to tackle around it right now if you are Scribble Bibble? I mean, this is it. We're going double Twin Angels. We're locking in.
Locking in double Twin Angels. A lot of immunity provided by the two units where there's not too many strips on the enemy side. So let's see if Ismo does go for a late game strip. I could still see a potential Gianna ban out on the Shiho, but that's also pretty much a guaranteed ban on your Gianna.
Let's see if he does follow through with it right here then in that 5th pick. Like you were saying, he is going to see the Gianna coming in. Insta-ban.
Yep, that's a Gianna right there, and I do expect the Gianna being banned out. So that is the question. You kind of want to keep the Shio in if your Vivager is in, and then you also want to underspeed it rather than outspeed it. So let's see if that's going to happen.
I mean, he doesn't have a speed lead either on the side of Scribble, so that might help as well at some point. May change the decision for those leader skills later on.
Yeah, let's see. Definitely taking that time on the bans. Is he opting to keep the Gianna in? Because leaving the Gian in when your Shio is gone is the worst thing that could happen for Scribble. And therefore, we do take it out. But on the other side, it's also well banned by Ismo for taking out this Jaeger.
Jaeger and Gianna have been banned out. So we've got the speed lead versus the resistance lead on the side of Scribble Bibble right here. It's the Summoners War European League, match 7, set 2. Is it going to be another 2-0? Scribble, over to you.
Yep, we're gonna see 2 turns on the side of Ismo. Ooh, and we're connecting that stun on the very last hit on that Vivager. So Vivager's not going to be able to take the turn unless there is a Violent coming in later.
Yeah, let's see how that checker's going to be coming in right here. Does get to provoke on those twins as well right now.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at more stuns. We do have the NFL moving after as well, so it's not going to be able to cleanse this Vivager. Also not connecting any of the hits there just yet.
Yeah, you've got 2 units without immunity, so you land those slows and the defense breaks as well. Monkey can follow. Wow.
Ooh, that's some good damage for first hit of a Monkey right there. Cleansing off, or stripping off everything right now, but the Monkey is looking for damage.
He is looking for damage, and look at that plowing. It's almost as if that Burgle's just gone off the field.
Yep, and also, oh, Monkey is doing the monkey business right there, taking out a individual buff that you had to do out of 3 of the buffs. Managed to get the strip on the immunity and the stun right there. Can you take it out? It's not gonna take it out just yet.
No, you don't have it right now, but there's defense breaks still lasting so long from that Annabelle on both those units as well. So some immunity coming up, and
Oh, the one stun, but the one stun you don't want to see. I can stun anything right now, but the Josephine. What do we stun? The Josephine.
Yeah, we do. This could be our first draw of the day right now, so I'm going to call it.
Yeah, I definitely do think it's gonna happen because that is where main damage setup potential came from for Scribble, which was that Burkle, which we're no longer seeing on the field. And on the side of Ismo, all of these units are looking fairly lively with those shields coming in time and time again. However, we have some Alter Ego coming in. Where do you please to send your damage?
Yeah, where are you going? Are you still scared of that Vivager as well at some point coming through? He is sending it, doesn't get any stuns.
Doesn't get any stuns, but we have some continuous shot. Can we take it out? We cannot take it out just yet, but this additional turn has potential to take it out.
Does manage to take it out. It's 3-3. But I mean, Monkey is so tanky, saying he's just taking units out. Oh!
Yep. Oh, we do get the stuns in once again on that Josephine, but Josephine is back on the passive. Plus, we have the Girl Sprayer coming in for a lot of healing into an additional turn, and we're gonna slap some teddy bears on those twins.
We are slapping them right now. Getting some good stuns there. 2 out of the 3 right now. Twins are really trying to fight back.
Yeah, Twins are really trying to win this match right now, but it is a little bit too late. Like, all of the HP bars are looking super low already. If you can perfectly cycle multiple stuns time and time again, I could see a world where it happens, but not if this Monkey gets the counter proc as well.
Yeah, if the Monkey gets those turns in right here. Scribble. Oh, big stun. Oh.
Big stun, but more additional turns on that unit right there. I still see a world where it is possible. If you let all of those skills, ooh, okay, he's gonna go for the Shadow Shot. He's saving it right now. Doesn't get it on the Josephine, and the Josephine will therefore have the passive plus additional turn on this NFL. Is not what you would like to see on the side of Scribble. Did get nearly everything on the all or nothing right there, but it's not good enough. Ooh, we still see some potential if you disbarrel this right now.
Oh,
okay.
He's trying, Say. He's trying. He needs to just keep controlling if you're Scribble right now.
It is possible. Like, the units on the side of Scribble aren't doing too much damage, but if you keep getting those stunts in back and forth, issue is you have to land it on NFL right now. Ooh, not on the NFL just yet, and I don't think you take it out, but I'm not sure if NFL does. NFL have Girl Sprayer up right now? Yeah, NFL has the Girl Sprayer up at this moment, and that's a lot of healing once again.
Perfect timing for Ismo right there. You've got the skill 2, you get the stun, but I mean, right now, Monkey versus the world, and it's going to be so tough.
Yeah, this is going to be really difficult. You have to send it on the Josephine. Can you actually take out the Josephine? Can't take out the Josephine. So I have seen monkeys with perfect cycling against 2 units. It is possible, but there's one big issue. One of the enemies is a wind and the other one is healing and cleansing.
Yeah, this is the most awkward moment if you are right there. All or nothing, Say.
All or nothing? Ooh, does get one, but not the other one. But in this case, even if you slow, I think that the monkey still laps, so the slow doesn't really matter all too much.
It doesn't, and you're getting those stuns as well, but you can heal. This could be taking a bit longer than we thought.
Yeah, this definitely is taking a little bit longer than we thought, but the big question is also right now, what timing is the attack bar of the enemy when this happens? It's pretty much full attack bar both times. Ooh, just a skill 1 available. Oh, the resistance! It resisted the sleep, which you would have had all turns available on that.
This is such clutch play coming out from this monkey, Say.
And this monkey is proccing for dear life, but he can simply not make it work. But also the dangerous thing, if Scribble wants to take down this Annabelle, the monkey might counter, and on those counters you might be stripped, so you don't really want to be hitting the Annabelle unless the monkey is stunned. But it is understandable that you want to take out the Annabelle first. Good choice for getting an extra attack bar. Once again stunning, once again perfect rotation. Do we go for the Annabelle? We do go for the Annabelle. Do we have a counter? We do have a counter. And that takes out the immunity. It takes out the unit from Scribble.
Oh my word. I mean, if we were going to draw any of the matches, Say, after all of these 2-0s, what a crazy one and a crazy way for that to actually happen, right? That was the most monkey business that we've ever seen, ever. And it just worked out for Ismo in that perfect rotation, right? Eh?
Yeah, that was also well played by Ismo also for getting extra attack bar from that skill 2 at the right moment. So the one moment where you have the off turn of the immunity and invisibility. But every time this Shiho was stunning something, it was stunning the off element but not the other unit, which is just very interesting to see. But when Monkey was needed most, the Wind Monkey was needed most, Strip on that invisibility to be able to do the damage later on just made it work. And yeah, that was a crazy match right there.
It was definitely a crazy match. I saw the chat going completely off as well during the end of that, going from one end to the other, all of the drama that is entailed in the Summoners War European League. Wow. I mean, I almost feel like we need a break sooner than later, but Say, we've got more matches yet to come as well today. Like I've seen before, 7 so far. The first draw of today being Scribble and Ismo, both those guys around the 7th and 8th position in the Summoners War European League. Another match before we go into a little break. Say it's going to be Raxxaz back on the stage against Guts. Raxxaz coming off a 2-0 win. Guts coming off a 2-0 defeat. Are we going to carry that one on?
Yeah, let's see if that's gonna happen. Rex, I think, is seated at the top 4 for the leaderboards thus far. So let's see if that's gonna continue on. Then again, Guts, I've mentioned it before. Either Guts is playing something like unconditional that you don't really see too much. Sometimes it works very well, but on the other side, sometimes it doesn't work at all.
Sometimes it just doesn't. Say, we've had our first draw as well right now, but you've still said 2-0s in those predictions. Who are we going for?
Then we're going to go 2-0 for Rexaz. The man is top 10 on the leaderboards right now, so the man has control over this meta.
Let's find out. The SWC 2025 semi-finals rematch. At least this time, we're guaranteed a European win. Woo! Go on, Europe. Raxxaz versus Guts coming through right here in our match number 8. Like you said, it's 4th versus 5th, even Say. So this is really going to see and find out who is getting into those highest seeding parts. And actually, to mention, it's the first loss for Guts as well, right, on that leaderboard? Because we always mentioned before that he never lost yet.
True, yeah, he was 4 on draws, and then the only loss he got was against his good friend. And also the 2 players are taking a long time for their pre-ban, so I'm expecting something else than Intermission for pre-ban. So let's see what we have for pre-bans. Gandalf and Intermission.
Yeah. Taking quite a while to find those units though, right? I mean,
yeah, that's one of those, like, Yeah, like those are the units you have probably pre-banned before, and you can also lock down a few units that you want to pre-ban on regular base. For the people that are not too familiar with this mode, you can select a few pre-selected pre-bans, so you don't have to scroll all the way down. I would probably have both of those in the pre-selected pre-bans.
There you go. We've seen Fine Megumi coming out. We've seen Josephine with a Vanessa on the side of Guts, going a little bit more into some meta.
Yep, and then also going for the standard playstyle that Rexaz likes to go with that Burkhild. Is already facing against the Josephine that has the anti-stun mechanic. But let's see what Guts likes to pair with that. Could be seeing a Pater in here. We're going to go for a Misty, so definitely try to control those stuns coming in from all 3 units on the side of Rex's field right now.
Yeah, 2 units in response to that right there. Is he going to supply, like you said, with that third one that could be a part to get some invincibility up as well? No. Opting instead for his trusty Praha and the Mei Huang.
Mei Huang is an interesting unit at the moment. I feel like he's not doing as well as we have been talking about him in previous meta. He was the monkey business, but right now it's like he's kind of there. He's a startup, but not really in business yet.
Yeah, not in business yet like his brothers are. Wow. Water dominant coming in then. We've got them more and we've got an Annabelle.
Yeah, that is definitely looking at the kind of draft where Rexaz is aiming to ban that 5th. So he has to deal with the Praha. Praha has been having pretty good success for the side of Guts. Now let's see if it's going to work out for this match. And that Shizuka, I definitely do expect to be banned off.
Yeah, if you're getting up that invincibility from a Shiho later on, it's not going to survive. But maybe that's a little bit more of an angle. Still a ban?
I think still a ban, but also what I think Guts is trying to do is trying to out-sustain. So probably he's aiming for an Annabelle ban himself.
Yeah, I can see it, and he has done it as well. We've got Josephine being locked out on the side of GutsTheBerserk though. So it's a 28 speed lead versus a 33 going into our Summoners War European League Match 8. Rank 4 Raxxaz versus Rank 5 Guts.
Yeah, let's see, Shiho, Alter Ego, can we connect those stuns? And the only proper target to stun right now is going to be the Praha. Praha is being stunned.
Yeah, she has been stunned right there. You've got kind of Berghild coming through then. There's going to be a more following as well in between Berghild.
Oh, I think I would send it to get the Abelio passive up right now. Sure, you will get a lot of healing in, but at least you don't get any of the provokes outside of that one unit that is Berghild.
Yeah, right there. You've got the opportunity. There's a defense break on it, and you've got that more following up. So looking to get some sustain coming through right there. Nice little additional turn as well.
Ooh, additional turn does provide it where you go back into the passive range, which could be annoying for Rexaz later on. Stuns. Do we connect the stun, or do we even go for a pushback?
Let's find out. Who's he going for? Oh, he's gone into that Vanessa, but resisted right there and landing a defense break. Oh!
Ooh, this is one of those moments everything is not working out for Rexaz. In this case, just simply a skill 1. We remove the defense break, but the defense break is sitting very nicely on this Berghild. Skill 2 on the monkey. Can we take it out? Not just yet.
Not quite yet. You've got that defense break back on the Abelio as well, though. It's going to come down to another all or nothing.
All or nothing, but we can only connect on 3 units. Do we connect it on 3 units? Not there just yet, but at least the Bra that would go for the Daydream is being locked out right now.
Yeah, she's been locked out there. Skill 1 coming in from her more, then getting that attack break, keeping it on that Fire Monkey King as well.
Yeah, this is kind of an awkward position of what would you like to hit, because you could trigger the Abelio passive, but in the process you might lose your own unit. If you send it elsewhere, that's a unit that could heal up himself at a later moment. So the Abelio actually does show a lot of value in this matchup thus far.
He is just being there on the field. It doesn't matter if he's taking the turns or not, because when that passive pops in, he's going to be able to heal. You're not in rebound zone yet.
Yep, and we're also taking the cooldown of that unit right now, so he did just use his skill. But once again, every time that Rexaz has a turn, he's just kind of fighting the Abelio passive. Like, every turn he has, it's just like, I don't really want to be hitting this. I don't really want to be hitting this. But right now, everything is in Abelio passive. Doesn't matter what you hit, it will be Abelio passive. So too bad you cannot go for cycle skill 1 additional turn into skill 2. Otherwise, that would have been the right choice. But right now, going in for the Abelio, big question is he just under? Because he healed a little bit more.
Yeah, let's find out right here. He's not right there. You've got that skill 1 on a defense break. You've cleaned him out the first time.
Ooh, but we have this Pra moving with the perfect timing of a Daydream. This is the biggest heal in the game. Healing up the whole team to 100%.
Oh, he gets even the stun as well onto that Shiho to prevent cycling. Oh, Praha again!
Pra taking the turns, Shio taking the turns, or Shio not taking the turns right there. Do we get a defense break off element? We do get it. Wild Load is going to do a lot of damage. 16k, and that is going to be a victory for GutsTheBerserk.
Yeah, it is. You've got that passive to prevent, but GutsTheBerserk taking that first point against Raxxaz right there. He's hoping to leap hop him into that 4th position as well in our Summoners War European League leaderboard. Did he do it already? No, probably needs to secure that 2nd set win if he wants to get above him in the positions right there, say. But I mean, just it came through again for Guts. Praha.
Yeah, it's one of those units. No one else uses Praha, so against Guts, I would personally always ban Praha, because in general sense, you like to ban something that you don't use yourself. Whereas a Water Gandalf, you'll be using yourself. Erosian, sure, if the enemy has first pick, you'll be banning that down. But a Praha, if you don't have it runed up, you're never gonna lock that down, so might as well just ban it.
Yeah, that's the mind games going into these kind of modes. We've got the Eresion, we've got the Jaeger, and the Vanessa coming out again on the side of GutsTheBerserk. How does Raxxaz look to play around it?
Yeah, can Rexaz go for a good old Hwarang kind of playstyle? Yep, Gandalf and Hwarang bringing the toxicity of passives in one team.
I mean, there you go. You got a little bit more coming in from the side of Guts then right there. If you're going to get some buffs up on your side, I'm going to take those stacks.
Yep, those stacks are very strong, but that's why you have to start looking at AoE heal blocks. And AoE heal blocks are very strong still by a Solvark. Solvark is available on the field. The other Drake Warrior is not, but do you want to pair that without AoE strips is the big question.
Let's find out. Rexaz taking a little bit more time then on this one right here. He's got some damage. He's got some kind of sustain coming through from that Gandalf as well. I mean, this is the moment where he can decide how he wants to go. Turn 1, turn 2.
We're gonna go for trusted units in the side of Burkeld for strips. And back to the Moor. I'm not too sure what the Moor is really adding to this draft. Maybe a setup for a 5th unit that could be an AoE strip, but thus far a Moor doesn't really add anything to this draft, I think.
Nah, let's find out. Still picking that Moor. We've got a Daniel coming out on the side over there on GutsTheBerserk. We know if that rotation works, it's super deadly. And an Annabelle as well. Get some defense breaks.
Yeah, very strong deadly rotation, but this is a position where I could see a Diana, also Layla. I think the Layla is a lot better, but then you're gonna fight a Nobara. I'm not too sure if Nobara is that great if your enemy has 3 AoE healers though.
Let's find out for this one. Well, we won't find it out, but 33 speed lead versus a 24. Raxxaz in 4th versus Guts in 5th in the Summoners War European League. Match 8, set 2. Ooh.
Yeah, Bolfric actually seems to be on a Swift set, so that's very common to either be violent or be Swift these days. I kind of like Swift myself as well, because you can already chip a lot of damage on the first turn, which we see right here, right now.
Let's try and get that defense break. Does get it on that Berghild right here, but I mean, Gandalf's coming around.
Gandalf's coming around, and Gandalf does have the S2 available. It can be stripped by Praha, and also if you do it at that moment, ooh, at least we get the defense break removed there right now. But we also still have Daydream coming in.
Yeah, huge heals coming around. You get some sleeps going around as well. Decided not to go for the skill 2, didn't want to wake up more.
Yeah, not waking up more, also not using skill 3 just yet from that Bolfric, simply not giving any of those stacks away unless you have 5 stacks, because you have 1 target to take out. We go for the goats, we'll be able to cycle, does fully stack the Bolfric in the process, and we're gonna have slows all nearly the whole team.
We are, and we've got some sciences coming through. The anti-clone's not so crucial, but these skill 1s, additional turns are useful right now for Guts to get back to that skill 3.
Yep, and we actually have a speed buff on this Bolfric, so Bolfric, you have to be looking at stunning this Bolfric right now. He's not gonna go for a stun on the Bolfric, does not care about this unit losing, again, half HP. Probably that the Burkle doesn't have that much of accuracy, so did not want to gamble it.
No, didn't manage to get the rebound coming out from the Vanessa, realizing that skill 3 isn't up on the Moor as well, so piling in damage.
Yeah, Moor once again not really participating in this fight, getting the additional turn, but it's not doing that much damage due to all of these glancing hits.
Yeah, Raxxaz can't really take out this Layla in time because Bolverk just keeps coming around, a little bit of healing throughout, and there's always Vanessa.
Yep, and this is also the timing where you do want to use your stacks earlier just to heal up your own units. Slow this time not connecting on the Hwarang. Maybe that's the opener that Raxxaz is looking for. If this Hwarang starts taking a few extra turns, you can simply take off units, but that's an 11k. That is so much HP on that unit on the side of guns.
Yeah, it is, and you're getting those rebounds again, taking out another unit. I mean, Gandalf and Hwarang, I would like them usually.
Yeah, they definitely have odds to get pretty far in this. We're nearly taking out a unit, but just by the sliver of health, this unit is too tanky. And every time that happens, it's just a big heal. But what's even a bigger heal is that Daydream coming in for full HP on the side of Guts.
Yeah, Guts, he usually cooks, and it looks like he's cooking right here against Raxxaz, his old nemesis, getting some revenge from that SWC last year.
Yeah, and this time around, it's working very well. This Praha is doing a lot of work, taking every time that there was a Daydream, it also procced out of the sleep provided by the Daydream. So that's definitely what you would like to see right there. And this Warring simply doesn't have enough damage coming in against all of those healers.
He definitely doesn't, and he's gone down. Gandalf, you shall not pass in this one through for a point for Raxxaz. GutsTheBerserk takes the 2-0 victory against Raxxaz. The rise of Praha, say, right?
Yeah, Praha is one of those units pretty much no one uses outside of Guts. Also on the leaderboards, I haven't seen anyone really use it, but it's still a very strong unit because, as mentioned, Daydream is one of the strongest heals in game. It does provide the speed buff, but it puts your own unit to sleep, which is a little bit awkward. But then again, Violent might be an answer on that.
There's always an answer for it, and if you don't know what it is already after playing Summon as well for so long, it's called a Violent Rune. Let's find out, say, how that kind of stacks things up from the fixtures that have happened so far today. We've gone through 8 matches so far, still another 3 yet to be played for today, and then we'll be going into next week, Wednesday at 8 o'clock, to find out those last matches, those last crucial points to see where they go to tally up on our leaderboard. And another 2-0, but this time the predictions say you lost out on that one, right?
Yeah, I think I'm kind of 50-50 on the predictions by this point. Or maybe a little bit above 50, but not that high. But then again, a lot of 2-0s. Interesting to see, because last week were a lot of 1-1s, whereas right now, only 1-1-1.
Yeah, only 1-1-1. There we go. We've got it. We've still got some big players. We've actually got the top of the leaderboard clash as well coming after our next little break. Say Pafix Obabo, Tito Gufflet, Last Deadly Sin, and then Smokes and Slappy rounding off our day number 5. I mean, should they go and grab a snack in the next break?
Yeah, maybe a snack, maybe a drink, or maybe grab a grab, because why not? While you're at it.
Exactly right. Grab whatever you can. I mean, obviously you've been sticking around, and thank you all for watching. You've been here over all of those weeks that have previously come. And guess what time it is? It's that wonderful time where we can summon another Water Gandalf, maybe, with some sort of, scrolls. What are we getting this time? We're 1 more week is the code right here. 100 energy, 1 mystical scroll. It'll be in chat, put there through our moderators. Make sure you let us know what you get as well. Going to call it as well, Raxxaz, if you are listening again, we want more Water Gandalfs. You tell me every time we don't. We do, okay? We want more. Thanks.
I think they kind of missed the opportunity to just call it 1 more scroll. I think that would have been kind of funny to just call the coupon. Maybe some inspiration for next time, just 1 more scroll.
I don't think they're allowed to put me anywhere near the coupon codes because of the puns that I write. It could get a little bit scary, sir. I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Some of those are very creative. Some of those are pretty much, just there. But always lock them in.
Exactly. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in around 5 minutes with those last 3 matches. And before you ask in chat, yes, Obabo is still playing 1 more match. We'll see him straight after. Come back very soon. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Summoners War European League. We've got 3 more matches to round off our weekday number 5, 5th out of 6th that are still yet to be done to determine who is going to be where seeded in our playoffs happening on the 4th of April. Make sure you've got those calendars set. We want to see you there cheering for the players that you are supporting. A lot of 2-0s today, say. We've had those 1-1s as well, kind of creeping in and out. But I mean, this is why we're all here for this very next match, right? Second versus first currently right here. This could be a potential final that we see in those playoffs coming very soon. But 2 very strong players. How are they? They're both very high on the leaderboard as well. I know Obabo and Pafix also into top 10. So this is like absolute royalty of Summoners War, eh?
Yeah, definitely is. And I'm definitely curious how this matchup is going to play out. And if it's still going to revolve around the same units, Russian, Water Gandalfs. I do expect it though, but in what kind of order will we see that? And because against Obabo, you also really like to ban out that Dark Zenitsu. And on the side of Pafix, you don't want to give that man a Water Gandalf. So let's see if these units also do eat a ban next to that Erission.
Let's find out. Pafix and Obabo, let us know in chat. We know you've been waiting for this match, any match there is, and he's still on the top. He's only had 1 set loss against Raxxaz earlier in the season at the moment, Obabo, so it's all up to the gods. Let's find out, sir. Pafix, Obabo. You said 2-0. Who are you going for?
I would have to give it to Obabo. We have seen what his units can do, resist the right things at the right moments. He has great draft, so let's see if that works out, but I would have to give to Obabo on this one, yeah.
I mean, there we go. Are we going to get another say prediction coming through right here for Obabo? Will he extend that lead even further at the top, or will it become a 2-horse race in it with Pafix getting back up to position with Obabo right here? He can fix almost anything. Almost. Obabo's trophy case remains under construction, though, for maybe a new piece of silverware in this one. Let's find out. Obabo and Pafix. Here we go, pre-bans. Erection on that Dark Zenitsu. We could have called it.
Yeah, that's definitely the pre-bans what you expect with current first picks that you have on both sides. So this matchup, I think, is slightly more in the favor on the side of Pafix because the Erection is banned for both of them, both sides, most likely. But this is the moment where he does get to play his style. Plus, he also goes for a steal. I really like that from Pafix to also go for banning out 133 that Obabo likes to use, but also picking one after that.
Yeah, there you go. Vanessa being seen right here. Obabo has done some monkey angles before with that Jingje as well, and he's locked it in that first pick at the moment, getting his own 24 speed lead coming through right here. But you don't have that Dark Zenitsu, but you do have another monkey.
Yeah, going in for the Dark Monkey. I think also the only loss that Obabo had thus far in the league days were based on a Xingzi first pick. So let's see if Pafix can utilize this well enough. There's a lot of stunts on the enemy side. However, going for the anti-stunts might not be as strong because there's also an anti-cleanse right now. Going in for a segment, but what would you like to pair that with? Because so far you're not showing too much of damage. However, Pafix has a lot of damage with Jaegers, with Chows, with all of those kind of good things. Is it good enough against a Zhongxiang Lao?
Let's find out. Jay, yeah, you go. Coming through right there. He's already got the defense breaks set up by both of those units in a Sekhmet and a Vanessa as well right here. 3rd and 4th pick for Obabo then right now. Is he going to go back to relying on something like an Etna or a Sonya?
Ooh, actually gonna go for a cleave kind of style. Does have 1 AoE strip on the field right there, but not a second just yet. I could see Pafix go for a Hey Gang right now, but the issue is if he goes Hey Gang, his 5th pick has to add a lot of damage. No, we're gonna go for a Nobara. Definitely a very strong option here as well. But what would you like to pair with? Juno Nobara, always a super strong combo when all of the enemy units have a lot of debuffs.
Yeah, all those debuffs coming out right here, and he is going to look to lock in that Juno then. So both those units responding very much to the Sun Zun Lao and that Tricks out on the field right now. Obabo, if you're going to carry on with it, is there going to be a cleanup?
Yeah, that is going to be the big question because right now Obabo does have a lot of damage. I'm not sure if a Juno is strong enough to live all of that damage that's potentially coming in. But if it does, that will be a really big healing coming in potentially. And we're going to go for a 3rd. That's definitely something Obabo likes to do. The moment that you give a lot of pacing, so he does not care about a revenge. He cares about pacing enough to have enough damage in on his whole team where the enemy can simply not take its turns.
Yeah, the more turns you take, the less your enemy does, the more damage you can put out there eventually. But for those bans, say...
Well, I think you have to respect the vert, and on this other side, probably that segment, because the segment is the most annoying thing which will disrupt your team.
Yeah, he'll take that first turn. If she lands, it's always a good thing, and it is going to be taken out alongside that Solvark as well. So we're going to be having a 33 speed lead against a 24 lead going into it. Our Summoners War European League Match 9, second place Pafix versus first place Obabo. Who's going to get those points?
Well, let's see what's going to happen. Also, we have a first turn going towards this Vanessa, but it's not really a turn that you can do all too much with, especially if you get resisted on the first thing you do.
Yeah, but right now Nabara is going to be able to cut in, but there's all that immunity, so you're not going to be able to get any provokes coming through. Oh, Sun's on Lao time.
Songs on Lao, okay, you connect the cleanse block, does connect the cleanse block, so we're not going to see anything just yet. Also, this Jaeger is seated at a buff block, so cannot go for the threat state himself.
He can't right now. He's trying to get rid of that Nabara that it looks like before she can get a turn, but it's not quite enough.
It's not quite enough just yet. Also, Jaeger, where are you going to send your damage? Your full stack. Can we take out the damage? Not enough damage just yet.
It isn't. I mean, would you need to confirm the kill already? He is deciding to. You need to maybe get rid of it. Oh!
Ooh, great additional turn right there. He's able to plow in more damage into any unit of his choosing. Probably just go... Ooh, we're going to go for the Jaeger.
Yeah, we're getting rid of that damage. We're going to try and get him off the field before he can come in with any of those skill 2s. I mean, maybe he's hoping that this Monkey King can do it instead.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go... Yep, Monkey has enough damage right now, and I think he's gonna let the Nobara live for just a moment. How much damage is this gonna do? Are you gonna crit wrong element to hit this Juno? Is actually gonna crit wrong element to hit this Juno.
He is critting right there. Juno's coming around, but I mean, debuffs aside, he's not looking too healthy. We've got a bit of life drain in there, say.
A little bit of life drain, but not good enough just yet. And also, since you let one unit live, it can remove your speed buff. Ooh, it's actually reapplying the speed buff as we talk. But right now, can you actually do enough damage? No, the Vert is too fast, and the Vert, ooh, by the sliver of attack bar, is not taking out the unit just yet.
No, he's not. And the longer he lets that Juno live on the field right here, it's going to be super deadly for him. He needs to pick up the pace, he needs to get some monkey action, but it's not quite enough.
It doesn't seem to be quite enough, but we're too long on cooldowns, and the stolen speed buff gives the Juno not enough turns, and we're still very far from the cooldown on this Juno to get anything in. Also, Monkey critting both times, wrong element, landing defense breaks, doing everything for Obabo here.
He is. He's getting this life drain coming back through as well. I mean, you can just get rid of this Vanessa, and then 2v1, you're going to get some provokes in, but... oh.
Yeah, this is going to be rough. I think you have to start focusing on the Vert and hope that you get stuns. Does get the stun. Is that enough? Is not enough. I think from a skill 2 right now into a Vert, yep, that will take it out.
Obabo carrying it on then. Still at the top of the Summoners War European League leaderboard, as well as everywhere else it seems in Summoners War at the moment right now. Defeating Pafix 1-0. Interesting. I love the Vert pick at the end, say. Came in clutch.
Yeah, I definitely do like the Vert pick because it gives a lot of pacing where the enemy doesn't have enough turns in, where the Juno couldn't do as much. However, we might have seen a very different match if that Vanessa did land her first hit right away, because then the tricks wouldn't have as much value because it would have been taken out like 3 or 4 turns sooner.
Let's see how it goes then. He's respecting there that Nabara going out on the side of Obabo. Pafix opting to take away that Eretion as the first pick, so a trade in Vanessa again.
Yep, back to the Vanessa on the side of Obabo. So let's see what Pafix can do when he doesn't have an Eretion. Could go to his Gandalf kind of style with the Josephine. However, it can be a potential where Obabo just simply doesn't lock in any kind of stun unit.
Yep, how is he going to play? So we're going to get a Monkey on the side of Pafix, trading that one out between both of our players and partnering up with another Monkey as well.
That is just simply opening for a Dark Zenitsu. This is the most comfortable position to lock in a Dark Zenitsu. He could leave it for a little bit later, but I think it's just too great of a position to simply not lock it in. Does lock it in right there. Could even add that with a Josephine or with a Gandalf.
Oh, Layla coming out then. Wants to get a bit disruptive on the side of Pafix right here. Still got 33 speed lead with it as well in the form of Vanessa. Third and fourth, continuing some speed.
Yeah, can definitely continue for more speeds. Can also go for more bruiser heavy right now, but you have to keep in mind Layla will be pretty annoying to bruiser. There's a lot of attack bar gain, so TL Lang is definitely very strong. Let's see, do you go for any type of healing in this draft?
Let's see right here. I mean, you've got Gandalf then coming in right there. Some big shields going to be able to work through. But Obabo locking in then. Trix and Sons on Lao.
Yeah, back to the Trix. Trix is actually one of those main counters to the shields of the Gandalf. So very strong unit right there, because if there's no shields, Gandalf cannot go for any cleanse because he's only cleansing and healing when there's already shields on that particular unit. So Trix is doing a really strong job at that. However, is it going to be good enough? Once again, we have a segment on the field of Bafix.
Sekhmet coming in. Will she still be on there though? Say, like last time, banned out, didn't want to have that disruption.
Yeah, but there's also the Chio. So 2 units on the side of Bafix are high base speed awakening units. So either one of the 2 will take first turn.
There we go. Sekhmet taken out. We've had Layla as well being taken out on the side of Obabo. So it's going to be a 33 lead against a 24 lead going into our Summoners War European League Match 9. Set 2 between both of our players, Pafix and Obabo right here. It's second place versus first place currently right now. This is the best of the best that Europe has to offer as of right now from this league. It's going to be interesting to see if that league is going to be extended by Obabo or can Pafix kind of reel him back in, take him off his high horse.
Yeah, let's see. We do have the first turn towards this alt ego. Can we connect the stun? We do connect the stun, and we're going to go for the Songshan Lao. So that does give us the option where the virus could land a lot right here.
Definitely could. You've got those blocks coming up from the Tricks right there, saying the shields are going to be a little bit slower.
Yeah, the shields are not coming to come in anytime soon, and we do get some defense breaks in already as well. We can be looking at more stunts, but we also have a Shiho that's not looking at anything that's threatening his life thus far because of that immunity.
Yeah, that immunity on it is going to help him. He's going to need an all or nothing as well at some point, but the Zenitsu's getting those turns in.
Getting those turns and getting the attack bargain. That's a lot of damage coming in right there, but this Tianling is strong enough to live. But once again, an additional turn from Obabo to get some summoning clouds in.
Yeah, it gets it in. Yes, the Shiho has the immunity, but look at the other units taking out the Tianlang. Defense breaks are staying on there as well. Obabo, is he unstoppable right now?
Yeah, this is very difficult to deal, especially if you're once again resisting all of the crucial hits, stun not connecting, your hits not landing, and the moment that the enemy is finally stunned, it's just proccing out, and this was very well played by Obabo right here.
Obabo taking it, carrying on the 2 O's in the Summoners War European League right there. He's dropped 1 set win in the whole of the competition so far against Raxxaz, not even the second place player at the moment in Pafix, to someone in 4th or 5th. I mean, there you go, say it's all coming together. It's like the perfect combination of meta, the player, the units, the runes, the artifacts, all coming together right now. Super strong.
Yep, I do also think that Pafix maybe should have opted to go for skill 3 on the Tricks rather than the Songshalao, because he was still looking at a lot of immunity on his own units. And at least that way you could have started cycling on not being buff blocked.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight, beautiful thing right there. And I mean, in the moment, that's what's gonna happen with our players. They're playing what is in front of them. And I mean, so far, 9 matches through today. Absolute classics all over the board as well so far for these. Obabo extending that lead. We won't see the leaderboard exactly how it looks until the very end of today. So stick around. We've still got 2 more matches and we've still got to find out how it's looking before we go into our last week of this Summoners War European League right there. And confirmation, Obabo 2, Pafix 0. Tito Gufflet coming up against Last Deadly Sin in that next one, say.
Yep, once again, a matchup against one of the players that's not in the top 8 thus far. And I think Tito's currently with that 2-0 victory, probably looking at a position 4. So let's see if he can extend that lead, or is Last Deadly Sin gonna make it towards the playoffs by winning 2 points right now?
Let's find out. He really needs those extra points as well right here. Look at these guys. Tito Gufflet, Last Deadly Sin. I think I know where you might put your vote.
Well, for me, I like to vote for the person that's higher on the leaderboard. So in this case, that's relatively obvious. I would go for Tito Gufflet, but also he's playing very well in the meta. Whereas Last Deadly Sin, it is kind of there, but also some matches kind of not really there.
Let's find out if he is going to be really there in this next one right here. Match number 10 of the Summoners War European League. The waffle iron is hot. The sin is deadly. This pun is terrible. but we're doing it anyway. Let's find out. Tito Gufflet versus Last Deadly Sin in this matchup. Rank 3 at the moment, Tito Gufflet as well, against rank 11 right now. Really needs to jump some places if you're a Last Deadly Sin right here. And what are you going to be banning away? Another Intermission?
Yeah, it could be a Russian because there's first pick for Tito, and that is exactly what's going to happen. On the other side, we do see a Nyx ban. So comfortable picks that are mostly first pick by both of those players banned out. So let's see what Tito goes for. A speed lead, which we mostly see in the first pick.
Yeah, speed lead. Who's going to lock him? I mean, a while ago it was those Water Twin Angels. We haven't seen them recently from him, but who's he going to opt for? We're going to see... Oh, going back to the Chandra. Let's do a throwback.
Yeah, throwback to Chandra meta, and then also adding that on the other side with a Vanessa and a Shiho, but easily picked up by a Hwoarang, one of those options. If it's there, it's almost always strong. However, it doesn't always win.
No, maybe not, but Berghild as well. Some fearsome light units coming out from the side of Tito Gufflet here. If you're Last Deadly Sin, how are you going to be able to get through it? Or maybe just, yeah, take them away, and then you don't have to deal with them for a little while. Yeah,
this was that Irene that was on Violent before, also pairing it up with a Dark Gojo unit we haven't seen too much. It is very strong for AoE of Oblivion. However, it's also a unit that you kind of hope all AoE of Oblivions plus stuns to land. If you don't, unit doesn't feel that great. So let's see if it even makes it to the match, because Tito Gufflet is not fearing this Gojo and locking in 2 more passive units.
Yeah, just looking in more passives when you're seeing a unit that can provide that Oblivion coming out right there on the side of Last Deadly Sin. Also doesn't really have too much sustain on his side, bringing in a Shizuka then to try and eat everything up.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the Shizuka pick, because the Rakuni is the main sustainer right now, but we're actually just gonna head on, see if this Gojo is gonna do it or not.
Let's find out. 24 speed lead versus a 33 speed lead in our Summoners War European League match 10 between 3rd place Tito versus 11th Last Deadly Sin.
Let's see what we can bring to the table on this first hit right now. It's also one of those awkward things that the Josephine might move after, but this Chandra seems to be 100 resistance and therefore doesn't.
He doesn't right there. Vanessa's going to be cutting him right now. I mean, feels like maybe a little bit of a waste if you're going to land the defense break with the Rakuni coming soon.
Yep, trying to put things in the back. Ooh, half of a back landed right there, so therefore not taking the attack bar, and the attack bar will be provided back to the unit the moment it comes back on the field. But also that first rotation on the stun of the Gojo is not what you would like to see.
Definitely not right there, defending that Berghild. Getting some slows out as well, getting some good additional turns, skill 1 damage to come through.
Yeah, I think that this Gojo is going to have a difficult time getting any skills in, because probably he's going to be looking at a defense break. After that defense break, he's going to be looking at more stuns. Plus, Josephine is coming back with full attack bar. So that is going to be probably a provoked unit right now, because there's nothing to cleanse for this Gojo.
Yeah, going through. You've got that all or nothing if you want it, but it seems like a bit of an awkward position. So just going in for that Chandra right now. But I mean, it looks like if Berghild gets more online for Tito Gufflet, I don't see where anything's coming from Last Deadly Sin.
Yeah, and especially with this Rakuni on the field, that anything that might land at some point, the Rakuni kind of cleanses. There's 2-turn provokes on this Gojo, so even with an additional turn, you're not going to get there anytime soon. And the all or nothing, or even the whole value of the Shio to stun anything, you have one unit you cannot stun, and the other 2 units you don't really want to stun.
Yeah, awkward positioning right here if you are Last Deadly Sin. There's chip damage coming out from a Josephine skill 1 and a Chandra skill 1 as well. The Gojo's nearly gone.
Yeah, Gojo's nearly gone, but there is an extra life. We do get the stun over there, but once again, Rakuni has something to say over there, and that makes the all or nothing very nothing right there. Plus, big question is, when do you take out the Gojo? Gojo's still pretty low on the attack bar right now, so you can just simply take it out and then take it out again.
Yeah, take it out once, get the return, and then just take it out again. Like you said, huge provoke as well onto that Shiho. Going to stop a skill 3 coming in and then add him with a stun. This is just pure control from Tito Gufflet, showing the gulf between 3rd and 11th place, I would say.
Yep, that's a lot of HP from that Gojo right now, but is this Gojo going to be enough attack bar to actually get the skill? If he does get the skill, so mistake right there. Do we land everything? We do actually land everything. Big question is right now, do you have enough cycling, rotation, and damage to control the match from here? Because the unit that has to do something is sitting at a stun.
It is right now. I mean, it feels like it's going to come back around in enough time for Tito Gufflet, but what can Gojo say about that?
Ooh, we do get a stun over there, but we're already cycling out of the Oblivion, and we do lose our own unit, and Josephine adds more wounds to the table with some more additional turns.
Yeah, more additional turns. You've got that skill 3 from the Irene. You go in for the Chandra, do manage to land everything at least right there. And the provoke. I mean, maybe that was the turning point right there.
Yeah, you still have the protection from the She-Hulk right now on itself. You can take out the Burkill, so rotation is kind of available. We're 2 turns away from we're 1 turn away, so we are available on the skill 3 the moment that something is taken out. So if you played right with the backs, you could potentially still win.
Let's find out if he is going to be able to play it right here. I mean, wow, it might take a little bit of time, say, on this one. Sit back in your seat.
Yeah, definitely gonna be. There's no sustain on the side of Last Deadly Sin, but everything is kind of like very slowly chipping each other to death. Also, the scaling on the Chandra is HP, so Chandra will get less damage over time, but the Josephine will get less shields, but it's still damage scaling on attack.
Let's find out right here. Come on, guys. You know what you're doing. Look at these skills right here. We've got a Josephine coming in. Does manage to get into that monkey as well. There is a revive still on that Vanessa, so trying to spread the damage a little bit.
Yep, and we get the unit back over there, but we're also 2 turns away from putting something in the bag. 1 turn away from putting something in the bag, but that is not good enough just yet, because I think that with these turns, it will be taken out by some of the units from Tito Gufflet.
Yeah, he's going to clean out with that monkey. You can slowly start cleaning out that Irene as well right here. Tito Gufflet looks very clean from the draft, and I would say it's probably his point to lose from right now.
Yep, also 4 turns away right now on that revive, so simply a few Chandra skill 1s will take this unit out, and then you can start working on this Vanessa, which cannot really perform a solo that much.
No, won't be able to do that solo, even landing a slow right here. Tito Gufflet, that's into 3rd. Still for him, I would say, at the moment, but maybe he's going to catch up with that 2-horse race in front of him, being Obabo and Pafix right here. Remember, 3rd and 4th is kind of being the same when it comes to those playoffs. You just don't want to be out of that 4th, because then you're in the bunch of 4 of 5, 6, 7, 8 underneath it. So it is important right here to confirm those points. Are we going to see more of the same?
Well, let's see if Last Deadly Sin also does like to pick up a Russian himself, or is Tito just gonna ban it? No, we actually have completely different bans.
Completely different. We're getting that Xingxie, and we're getting an Esche then coming out on the side of Last Deadly Sin. Does have the option right now to go for the Erection in that first pick.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if he mostly plays it. No, he actually is still a Vanessa player, so that gives the option to Tito just simply lock in the Erection. He does not have the Erection plus the Asher combo, but at least the Erection doesn't have to deal with a Xingzi right now, which is definitely a comfortable position, and those are level 1 units. I don't think you would lock those in.
Not sure what you're trying to flex right there, Last Deadly Sin, but I don't think we want any more of that. Sekhmet coming out then in that second pick, looking for a bit of a speed contest with that Shiho. Got the 33 lead with it as well, and ooh!
Aragon on water, something you don't commonly see too much. It is kind of like an offensive Wusa. You have a team up on the skill 2, you have the protection and immunity on the skill 3, but is it going to be good enough in this match? Because there's already AoE strips on the enemy side.
There it is right there, and we've got a Light Huarang entering the field again. Going to be able to bring some damage, and going back to that Raccoon as well, it did provide a lot of sustain for him.
Ooh, going to the Bruiser setup with a Cadiz. I'm liking the Cadiz in combination with the Aragon because the team up will most likely be on the Cadiz. Therefore, Cadiz can strip and push back a lot of attack bar. However, pairing that up with a Layla feels strong against the things that you're fighting, but you probably have to ban that 5th unit right there. And the Veramos is definitely something you want to ban.
Yeah, you don't want to have to deal with the Veramos getting all of those debuffs and providing some healing for his team right there. Instant ban on that one. Are you going to respect the Layla? You are as well, taking it out right there. 33 speed lead for both of our players right here. Tito Gufflet in 3rd versus Last Deadly Sin in 11th. It's the second set. Let's go.
Yeah, first skill goes once again to the Sekhmet. Can we connect? Sekhmet has been very consistent today. Definitely a unit you would like to see in that kind of shape, all right? Let's see if that is the opener for Last Deadly Sin to take over this match.
Yep, is at the moment for him right now. You've got that skill 1 coming in. Look to get a defense break, and you do land it on that Erection now. Cadiz is following up soon.
Yeah, Cadiz falling off soon. It is understandable to not go for the skill 3 because you want to keep the skill 3 for the moment that the Aragon did do his immunity. But in this case, he's not going to do the immunity at all. He's just going to simply take out your unit.
Yep, he's taken out the Intermission right there. I mean, Monkey's going to come back again, but still with no skills available. Needs to cycle quickly with that speed buff.
Ooh, speed buff, but that is something that a Cadiz also does. Like, ooh, it's actually not taking it right there.
Doesn't manage to take it out right here, but a segment coming through, land some more defense breaks, get some more damage coming in right now. If that Shiho's out, it's going to be very tough.
Yeah, once again, still seated at that speed buff, but is it going to be fast enough? No, the Cadiz is actually moving right next right now. Can we take that away? We can't take that away with the additional turn. I think we're going to be sharing one apiece on this one.
Wow, it looks very much like it's the Cadiz show right here, say. I mean, really managing to help take out 2 of those units right there. Don't sleep on this guy, eh?
Yeah, Cadiz is definitely a very strong unit. It's kind of hard to protect him because you like to start him off on revenge. It doesn't have the immunity. It's taking some hard hits from the sparring right now, but I'm pretty sure it's still on a revenge set. Plus, this will also help out a lot for good damage on this Aragon.
Yep, and there you go. Last Deadly Sin shares the points in the end then with Tito Gufflet. Another draw in our Summoners War European League, 3rd versus 11th, and still managing to split the points right there, say. So really the points can end up going anywhere. It is only that best of 2 format, so you only play 2 sets, and each set win counts as a point for yourself on that leaderboard. Kind of change of the tails, I would say, right? Very clean drafting from Tito Gufflet in that first set. Second set also kind of seems strong, but the opening for that Cadiz to come through really clutched up for Last Deadly Sin, right?
Yeah, and I think that's one of those units that Segment kind of provides, because with Segment, it's kind of the race. Is your Segment faster? Is the Shio faster? If the Shio was faster, the match might have looked very different right there. But since the Segment was faster, there's a lot of options for disrupting the team before it can actually move. And therefore, Tito Gufflet had to draft more bruisers, or felt like he had to draft more bruisers. And those bruisers didn't really add too much in the end in the draft.
Nope, they didn't. That's why he ended up splitting the points 1 apiece between both of those players right there. 10 matches have gone. 1 more match still remains. We have Smokes versus Slappy to round off our day number 5. After that, we will be seeing what the current leaderboard looks like before our last and final week of this phase of the competition, before our playoffs, say. Smokes and Slappy. Smokes coming off the back of a 2-0 loss to Obabo, a fellow Swede, and Slappy coming off a win against Malignant there. Is he going to continue the tradition, or where is your vote going?
Well, this is going to be quite a rough one because both the players do like their Yeon Hong Gianna combination. Both the players are also based on Intermission, but I think I would have to give the slight upper hand to Smokes because he just simply has more LDs that are difficult to deal with.
Let's find out if that will be the case in the end here then, say. LDs when not. You can't slap Smoke, but last time someone swung at Smokes, they just fanned the flames. In this one, let's see if that's going to happen again. Smokes versus Slappy in our Summoners War European League Match 11. Final one of the day, 8th versus 7th. So realistically, these guys are trying to make a little gap into those final 4 positions from 9 through till 12, say.
Yeah, we're actually not banning out an Intermission, we're banning out speed contesting units. The Asher's being banned out and the Yeon Hong is being banned out. Yeon Hong is a unit they both share. Same for Gianna. So let's see if Gianna is going to be a highly contested unit between the 2 players over here.
Let's see, Intermission being that first pick again. Locked in quickly now as a response from Slappy. Some monkey business in the form of Xingje and that Shiho.
Yeah, Shinx and Zio, very common opener right there. Question is, does Smoke still have some units to counter that for speed contesting? Yes, we do. We do find ourselves with a Segment and a Gianna.
Coming straight in with a speed contest then right here against Smokes. We know he's fast and can get through stuff, but does he have enough to finally finish the deal right there? Because those are 2 very annoying units to deal with on the side of Slappy.
Very annoying units to deal with, but also very units that don't provide that much if you want to go heavy bruiser route. But I was expecting a bruiser route on the line of a Juno, maybe a Nobara, but that's definitely not what we're doing with the units as Smokes is showing on the field right now, with a Dark Aragon and a Dark Zenitsu.
I mean, it just looks very beautiful, say, to be honest. If this kind of thing comes off, we've seen it before from Smokes, but it didn't in the previous kind. Slappy, last pick, what do you have to go for?
There's a few options you could go for. If you go for Sonya right now, you're guaranteed 2 speed leads where your enemy only has 1 speed lead. And I think that the Zenitsu you can definitely take out. Maybe the Gianna you can take out on a Sonya. So Sonya might be a nice one. But in that case, you would have to ban off your enemy 33 lead.
Yep, Eretion likely to get out of there right now. Sonya, do you just have to respect it and try work through it in the rest? No, it's going to be the Sonya and it's going to be the Sekhmet as well then. Going out. So it's a 33 versus a 28 speed lead right here. Smokes 8th versus Slappy 7th. The last match of the day in our Summoners War European League. Let's find out who wins that race.
Yeah, let's see. Well, definitely gonna go first turn to this She-Ho, but you have to land it on Gianna, otherwise Gianna will take over that match. So, but then we have a backup stripper in the form of this Russian. However, you will trigger the Megumi that is potentially stunning your Aragon. Ooh, also missing a big strip on that unit right there, but we do take the additional turn. Can go for a skill 3 right now, but there's only 2 targets where you can increase the cooldowns on.
Yep, he's going in, he's gone out there and got the pushback as well, say. So now Dark Zenitsu can start to provide some damage coming through.
Yeah, but the big issue is still that She-Ho is not stunned, or not stripped. If the shield was stripped right there, those stuns would have had so much more value, because right now, the All or Nothing still has a lot of value. However, Varwell's looking at super low on attack bar and is looking at a slow, so won't be taking a turn anytime soon.
Won't be taking a turn, but it's not so much damage coming into him right there.
Yeah, skill 1, defense break, that is where the real damage comes from. I'm not sure if he has enough chance to start lapping right now. Can we get the stun? We do connect stuns.
Oh, and it's another big stun as well from that She-Ho. We got another all.
Ooh, right timing for an additional turn for this Dragon Breath. Pushbacks coming in, stun in the process. Most likely is being stunned by a Shinx at the moment he goes for that skill, but at least the pushbacks do work right now, but so is this Megumi. It's back and forth with procs.
It is. You're trying to get rid of that Gianna. You are going to be able to cycle through. You can look to clean up, or you're going to send a skill 2.
You kind of want to send a skill 2, but I think I would first go for a skill 4, clean it up, and I think that Smokes is doing exactly the same thing, because this will give you a lot of attack bar gain as well, and where there's a lot of additional turns on the side of the Megumi, so is on this Irration.
Yeah, it is. I mean, maybe you should have gone into the Fire Megumi right there, because if there's an additional turn coming out right now...
Yeah, there's a lot of options right there. Does go for the defense break, but defense break is probably helping a little bit for the damage. No, it's actually being stunned, but we did only stun 1 unit. Alter Ego is coming in on this Zenitsu, and it's not looking too lively.
It's not. You get that defense break, though, on the Xingje right now. Megumi, again, just cycling through, taking so many turns, getting some big stuns, controlling the enemy team.
Ooh, so many turns coming in, but no additional turns. Is that enough damage? That is enough damage. And because of the cycling of the Megumi, it's just taking out all of the turns potentially from the enemy team.
Yeah, getting the stuns in onto the Aragon every single time, it feels like here. Oh!
Yeah, that's just the sheer power of this Megumi plus the Shinx. They have so much stun potential between the two of them. And that is why most of the people like to bring passives into those units, to not get into this stun lock rotation.
Yep, and that is looking like it could be it. I mean, you're going for it against that Xingje, but with this Fire Megumi on the field, I think it's likely to be all that Shiro and Slappy looking good. Maybe extending that lead?
Yeah, it's definitely looking to extend that lead. If you go for a skill 3, not enough damage regardless because of the defense break. It's simply being taken out. Victory towards Slappy.
I think I just saw it tick over as well, that Slappy might now be in 6th position in our Summoners War European League there. So you want to get a little bit of a gap on those people in 8th, and that person in 8th is Smokes.
Yeah, let's see if he can win that next round as well. Also, neither of the 2 players were contesting on the Irration, so therefore the Irration was given to Smokes, but Slappy did have his answer to deal with him.
He did right there, but pre-bans are going to be coming back around. Are we going to be seeing a Gianna, which we both know that they have, the Yonhong? Where do you think it's going to land?
I think we still see... Ooh, we're going to see for Dark Zenitsu. It was the unit that gave most issues to Slappy, especially if the strip from the Irration would have landed on the Shio in the first rotation. Dark Zenitsu would have had way more value, and Slappy does notice that is one of those units to take out. Also, Yonhong being first picked.
Yonhong out on the field, looking for some form of speed contest going through then right now. Smokes locking in early, a 33 speed lead of his own. Is he going to compete with it even more?
Yeah, it could go back. Ooh, we're gonna go for a combination right now on the Gianna. That does give an opener for Slappy to maybe go into an Hey Gang kind of style because neither of the two units play very well into a Hey Gang. However, you have to be looking at your speed leads and your damage as well because a Hey Gang and Yan Hong are not adding too much of damage and are not the speed lead just yet. There's your damage, and there's also speed lead.
Yeah, there is the speed lead right there. Do you need to have yourself some sort of strip if you're going in for it as well? We'll find out in this third pick coming in from Slappy. Again, going back to the Ventan.
Yeah, it's kind of weird to see the Venton, especially this early. We have seen it do very well in previous meta. In the current meta, not as much. It is super hard counted by 100 resistance NFL right now, but that NFL might be taken out by a Sierra. So maybe that's the playstyle that Slappy is trying to force. But Smokes is not going to go for any kind of form of healers. He's just locking in more contest on speed and pretty much that.
Yeah, he's maybe got a bit of trauma from that last Megumi coming out from the side of Slappy, taking it for himself. But Veremos missed it. I like that response.
I kind of like that response, but this is an option where Smokes could easily go for something along the lines of a Fire Bruiser unit, but I was more thinking about a Bludja or a Rika. However, a Marsha is very nice as well because there's not too many strips on the enemy side.
Nope, there isn't. You've only got one speed lead as well on the side of Slappy right here. Who are you looking to respect? The Yonhong is being taken out then alongside that Marsha as well. So we've got 24 versus 33 speed lead in our final set of the final match of today in the Summoners War European League. Slappy versus Smokes. Who will get that point?
Well, this is a matchup that looks very favorable for Slappy by the first look, simply because of that Veremos on the field. Veremos is going to do God's work for all of those debuffs that are coming in, and the side of Smokes doesn't have too much raw damage outside of that bomb. So let's see if this Veremos can get the turns in, and not being stunned on the first rotation is looking very nice.
Yeah, definitely is right there. He's going to be eating all of this stuff up for his team right now, say.
Ooh, also not getting stunned over there right now. We're trying to get some damage in on this Misty, getting the additional turns, but as mentioned, there's not too much raw damage coming in. Additional turn from this Phantom, but also not doing all too much just yet.
It's not even getting a little revenge to land a defense break right there. Just going into the Megumi to cycle through right now.
You don't want to do this. Do not send the S2. Unless you want Veremos to take 16 turns in a row, you press S2. But you should not be doing that now.
There you go. He's got his own S2 coming out, getting some big stuns. And like you said, is it just going to be the Veremos show?
Yeah, it does look to be the Veremos show. There is still the bomb on the Misty, and it will go off on this next turn. Good bit of damage, but Gianna in most cases is not built on full damage, and this Misty will be able to heal that up slowly.
Definitely will. And you're hitting right there into it. Ventan coming back online again, say.
Yeah, that is the Phantom, and Smokes knows that from that there's no coming back. Mainly the Veremos was such a great pick right there, and simply had to be a must ban. But that was also the danger of locking in too much speed, locking in too much strips, but not really thinking about damage or any kind of after units.
Yeah, exactly. It's all about that follow through, especially if you're playing in RTA, taking that first turn. You need to finish them off first, otherwise it's not going to look pretty for you right there. And Smokes will be feeling that one as Slappy takes another 2-0 from today as well. So a really good point shift for a lot of our players today with those 2-0s. Say mentioned it earlier, big swings can happen right now going into that final week. You kind of want to be in the position where you're not so stressed out going into those matches, knowing that you need to get those points. And there's a few players that we'll be seeing very soon who are at the top of that leaderboard, looking pretty on top. And that's exactly where they want to be. Actually, some thrillers of matches today, say I mean, apart from the sometimes very meta-specific things that might happen that we, don't speak about too much if we can help it. But some interesting playstyles nonetheless. Favorite match for today?
I would have to say the second match on Ismo and Scribble. That one with the Shiho doing nearly the impossible. Even Scribble himself in chat was like, I did not deserve that match or I did not deserve to win that match right there. Kind of true, but hey, it would have been cool if you actually did on that one, because sometimes some miracle work is fun to see.
It definitely is right there, and you can see it. That were the results of today's 11 matches, and we're going to bring you the current leaderboard going into our very last week, and look at it. There it is. Obabo on top, 17 points, a gap all the way through to him, and he's still one game down on those guys, say.
Yeah, Obabo's looking very clean on those rankings right here. I think he can lose how many ever matches he has in the next week, and he will still be top 2 for sure, so he's locked in. However, Ismo, Scribble, Slappy, and Raxxaz, well, I would mainly say Ismo and Scribble, they're like 7 and 8 points, whereas 7 points is also already a shared one, so that is definitely going to be a close one right there. However, Smokes does have one extra match in, so I think that Smokes is playing one match next week, whereas Scribble might be playing 2 matches.
Exactly, and let's see how it tallies up. There's probably another 4 points available for most people that can take it through, and a 4-point swing at the moment could get you all the way from 8th up to 4th if the other results go in your favor. Let's find out what is going to be happening over that next week. Remember, next Wednesday, 8 o'clock, is going to be our last league day during the week, and then we will be getting ready and preparing ourselves for those playoffs, which will be happening on Saturday, the 4th of April. Make sure you set your alarms ready for it. Before you set your alarms, obviously, set your in-game coupon, because there's going to be another little coupon coming along right here. Let's see what language we're dealing with now. Swell 2026 Woche 5. That means week 5 in German. My B1 German coming clutch there, say.
Yeah, that's as if you're living in Germany right there. Very clean.
Damn, could be the case. 2 mystical scrolls this time, though. Not just 1 more scroll, 2 more scrolls, say. There you go. That's the next code for the coupon that we can do. And 100k mana as well. This time you've summoned 2 Water Gandalfs. Get a dupe, get a blessing, you know, all the good stuff. Maybe an LD. That's how it works, right, sir?
Yeah, that's mostly what we do. At least in the high end, all of the dupes straight into more LDs, and then get another Darien and a Paladion and all of that other stuff that you're like not needing anymore. But you know how it works.
Exactly. Hope you've had all a really fun time watching the Summoners War European League. Remember, next week, Wednesday, we're here for one more Wednesday midweek action, and then we'll be going into the weekend of Saturday, the 4th of April, bringing it all for you. Make sure you bring your support for all these players. It's going to be the really crucial time. They're going to need all of the help that they possibly can get to make sure that they join us on that playoffs as well. What a roundup, eh, say? We're here 5 weeks. It feels like only an hour ago that we were doing the first week, right?
Yeah, time goes super fast, and before you know it, we're in the playoffs, and before you know it, we're going all the way SWC. But also keep in mind, there's not just the Summoners War European League. The Summit for America also did start. I'm not exactly sure what time it is, but do find that out on the social medias. And I want to thank all of you guys for watching for today. And that's it. See you next week.